What up? Back at it. September the 5th. Night 2 of this NFL ref experience. And a couple of college football games as well tonight. I also have some baseball action that's going swimmingly horrible. I did have Cubs over earlier. And got Reds, who are down 3-0, and Pittsburgh, who's down 1-0. A couple other ones also. So let's reset. I would recommend, if you have not done so and you do plan on watching the NFL game, go ahead and fire that up on your YouTube TV. To be safe, have already done that, just because I'm terrified of it not, it literally crashing the YouTube servers. I think they covered something else that it didn't work out. There was so much going on that it slowed down or crashed the servers on YouTube a while back. I don't know if you get a reward if you're the first one to log in or not, but meaning it's harder for you to get kicked out if you're already in. But taking no chances, that was the route that I decided to take here. So let's see what happens. The first college game is Louisville against James Madison. That one's underway on ESPN2 for those interested in it. I need to chart the coin toss in that game. So Louisville got the ball first and punted. And then James Madison also got the ball and likewise punted. James Madison did win the toss and defer. Um, 12:28 to go in the first. 2.5 minutes gone. No teams have a first down. Louisville lost 11 yards on their first drive. James Madison threw it 3 times and they got nothing. The Louisville's three plays came on a run for 0, a run for a 3-yard loss, and then the quarterback, Miller Moss, was sacked. Moss, the USC transfer. Remember, the sacks in college count as minus yardage, so that's why we got minus 11 rushing for Louisville and 3 incomplete passes. Live price on Louisville, anywhere between 14.5 and 15. The game closed 16, 56.5. The live total is 54. I want to say under, but a little quick for that. 2 drives, not a season make. James Madison last week was a winner in their home opener. Louisville beat up on Eastern Kentucky. I think they were up 42-0 at one point and ended up winning maybe 49-14. Did not get the money. James Madison beat Weber State in their opener. Interesting turn of events in terms of who's playing quarterback for Jimmy Madison. Last week it was Barnett, Sluka, and Evans. And on the first drive, Alston, who's a receiver, actually threw a pass. And Sluka, the name might sound familiar to some of you. That's because he started the season at UNLV last year and went 3-0. And then he was probably the first player on record to either demand a salary raise in the middle of the year. There's 2 stories here. First one, they say, well, he didn't get what they said they were going to give him, and there's a he said she said thing. I don't know. It's tough to say like who was right and who was wrong, but either way, UNLV basically said don't let the door hit your ass on the way out, hit you in the ass on the way out, and he transferred out, and the other guy that took over, he also transferred out at the end of the year. So now UNLV has 2 new quarterbacks, Calandra is the one that's won the starting gig, and then the other kid that transferred in from Michigan. Colander was in Virginia before, so he looked pretty good last week at Sam Houston. The YouTube telecast now has Kay Adams, who's an absolute knockout. I'll have to try to not watch that for a while because she's absolutely gorgeous. So Louisville starting at their own 20, 3 minutes in, and again, I'm going to watch this drive a little closer. Maybe there is something to this under. Obviously, like I say, that James Madison handled Weber State so handily last week, or easily last week, has to be a little bit impressive. Even though it's a 1AA, Weber State traditionally has been pretty good at that level. And 45-10, and really, it was 28-7 at halftime. They scored 2 late, whereas Louisville, 51-17 over Eastern. Really, not much to it. They caught off the dogs as the game progressed. Louisville has a week off after tonight, and they don't play again until they host Bowling Green in week 4, and then they got Pittsburgh on the road in week 5. So that's the end of the month schedule for Louisville. Jimmy Madison after tonight, the same thing. They have a bye after tonight, and then they go to Liberty in week 4. And that's also a non-conference game, as they are a Sun Belt team. Liberty's in Conference USA. So, with all that covered, let's get back to it for the time being. The point spreads in all these games tonight. Like I say, Louisville was laying 16, 15, 15 and a half. Hodgepodge of numbers at post. I made it 15 and a half. I had no opinion at all. And Northern Illinois, Maryland will kick off on the Big Ten channel. That game goes in about 15 minutes. And Maryland, a 16 and a half point favorite. I made the game 13 and would advocate taking 17. As of now, that 17 doesn't exist. Nothing for me. Miller Moss with a 6-yard run on 3rd and 6. He gets the first down. Louisville out to the 30, and the drive continues. This game is an ESPN2 game, therefore I will have a delayed feed. So I'll have one eye on the box and the other eye on the television to see what's going on. Looks like they're going to play fast, a little bit fast. No, maybe not. Shotgun pass complete on first down, and then Watson gets the carry on second down. That's his first rush. So it'll be 3rd and 5 for Louisville. Clock running down inside of 11 minutes in the first quarter. The NFL game that kicks off at the top of the hour or somewhere near it, whatever YouTube decides they want to do, is Kansas City laying 3. There is some 3 minus juice involved in some places. It looks like there's some money for the favorite here lately. Those are some sharp shops that are using the line shaded towards the Chiefs against the Chargers. San Diego home game that's somehow being played in Brazil. Last year I thought it was funny. The Eagles were at home against Green Bay in Brazil, home in quotes. And the end zones were all Philadelphia. And I think the Eagles logo is at midfield. Don't quote me on that part. And tonight, you got the Chiefs logo in one end zone and the Chargers in the other. So somehow, even though the Chargers are supposed to have a home game, forgive me if I call them the Clippers. Whenever I look at the screen, it says LAC. That reminds me of the Clippers in the NBA. So I have to do a good job of trying not to do that. But forgive me if you hear me say Clippers and you know I mean the Chargers. But yeah, this is a Charger home game that somehow has end zones that are split for both teams. All the conspiracy people that hate the Chiefs are obviously making a big deal about that. Complete pass for Louisville, but they're a yard short. That's Moss to Skinner, and it's 4th and 1. The ball only needs to touch the 40 based on where it was spotted. Inside of 10 minutes. Shotgun. Motion left. Handoff, and the James Madison line collapses and beats the Louisville front, and they stop it. It's going to be a loss of a yard. Maybe no gain. Either way, it's a punt. It's a stoppage on downs, and James Madison will take over at the Louisville 39. And impressive start for the Dukes defense. current live price as we go back to another commercial. Louisville now laying as low as 10, as high as 11. Total is now 51.5 or 52, and I got to be honest, after what I've seen so far, really hard for me to justify anything besides under. I actually kind of think under is a good bet at 52. Matter of fact, let's try that. Okay, so there is Chris just went to 52.5. I'm waiting for the order to come in and I actually get a better number. I like under. I know that there's a good field position here starting for James Madison, but I don't think they'll do a whole lot on offense. This drive is more important. Obviously, they didn't even bother to try to run the ball in the first drive. Okay, all good. So that's in. If you can get 52 only, 51.5, even money would also work, but don't lay any juice on 51.5. But go ahead and chart me in this situation. First play of the weekend. I had nothing last night. Tonight, it's 3:14 Louisville live, under 52, and that comes at the 9:36 mark of the first quarter. I actually did get 52.5 minus 113 is what he sent me. But for show purposes and what I recommended to play at, 52 is fine. So chart me under 52, and this is for 1.5 units. Most standard plays, 1 is small, 2 is medium, 3 is big. Very, very rarely will I do anything more than medium on a live play. And I try to only give live plays during commercials. Halftime obviously is its own separate line set. Sometimes some people book that as a live price. So the same ideas same principles are in play, meaning that no, I'm not going to sit here and give you a live bet when the game's being played, especially, like I said, I got a delayed feed. How can I possibly do that? So here we go. Sluka, speaking of the devil here, is in the game for James Madison. For those of you here a couple minutes ago, Sluka was the quarterback at UNLV last year. Had nowhere to go after he basically blackmailed him, or according to some people, and eventually latched on at James Madison. I believe he had played with that coach, or one of the coaches at James Madison, before he went to UNLV. So kind of going back to his roots. Yeah, there it is. It's a fake option, and he runs it for about 4, maybe 3. Roll out, pass, deflected, knockdown, incomplete. This one's back to Barnett quarterbacking. So now the Dukes have thrown 4 times. None of them have been complete. 3rd and 6. We're inside of 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. Louisville recorded the lone first down of the game on their last drive. James Madison checking the call here. Louisville's got showing a blitz. Oh, yeah, if they check to a run there, surprising. Louisville had that all figured out. going to be a loss. And maybe breakeven.com, it'll be 4th and long, and they're kind of in between. You know, it'll be a really long field goal from out here. They really don't want to punt. Oh boy. Fumble! And so the Cards will take over on downs. James Madison's calling for a defensive holding. Oh, there's a flag that comes in. He's clapping. I guess they might got one. Wow. And it is. So U of L gets stuck for a hold. Mack, evidently. So a 7-yard sack and fumble. And Louisville gets it at the 42. That gets wiped out because of Mack's hold. And so Jimmy Madison all the way down to the 25? Man, I don't know about that. Certainly for my under, it's no good. 8:14 clock running. Spots at the 26. James Madison 4 wide, back infield to the right, 1 to the left, empty backfield. It's Sluka again, another quarterback draw. Given they don't trust him to throw, that's twice they've run some sort of a variation of a running play with him in. You can be sure that Jeff Brom has had this scouted, and they're not going to let this guy beat him with his legs. I wouldn't expect to see a whole lot more number 9 tonight unless they're going to find a way for him to throw it. It looks like the way the coach is talking to him that he maybe should have thrown it. Maybe it was a pass that he just didn't like the setup, and he just said, screw it, I'm going to run the thing. Western Illinois plays Northwestern on the Big Ten Network as well. That's an alternate feed. I hope I have the right one here that I'm watching with Northern Illinois and Maryland. That one goes in less than 5 minutes. And the other game is also a 1AA. Eastern Washington plays Boise. That game is on FS1. Curious to see how Boise responds to what happened last Thursday. Adeye's rush up the middle is good for 12, and that's their first down that they actually gain without the help of a Louisville penalty. Inside of 7 minutes now. Shotgun. Draw. Adeye again. He pounds his way for 3. Second and 7. Got guys losing hats out here. 15 for Jimmy Madison, lost his hat. Barnett back out, Sluka in again. I mean, you know what's coming. Stevie Wonder knows he's going to run the ball if he's in there or hand it off. Shotgun, motion left. This will set up trips left, I believe. No, this is a big, nice, big formation. Now there it is. Fake the draw and then quarterback draw. Somehow Louisville can't tackle him and he gets about 5 yards. So it'll be 3rd and 3. At around the 8. Maybe a long 2. Is he still in the game? What do we got here? A full house backfield? Give it to the tailback, and he rams his way out past the 6 and down to the 5. That'll be a first down for Jimmy Madison. Hasn't been pretty, and they're sure not banging their way for all kinds of yardage, but they've done enough and been effective enough with the help of a penalty to get the thing in a goal-to-go situation. Same formation, same play between the center and the right guard, and he gets maybe a yard there. Sluka stays in the game. Fuller is the ball carrier on those last 2 plays. 23 for Jimmy Madison. Second and goal. Same formation again. One receiver wide left. Fake. This time Sluka keeps it. Louisville sniffs it out. He evades a couple of tacklers and gets back to where the play started. So it'll be third and goal at the 3. Sluka back out. Coach is having a chat with him. Barnett back under center. Shotgun. Motion left. Snaps it. Rolls out left. Nope. Play is dead. 4:05 to go in the first half. The Dukes have called timeout. No score. Third and goal at the Louisville 3. Jimmy Madison threatening to chime in here. Live price. Louisville still favored a touchdown and some change. Total 51.5 under. Some money. Remember my first bet today. First recommendation. The 9:36 mark after Louisville stopped on downs. Under 52 for 1.5. Welcome to whoever's in. Looks like we've got a few people in here. Feel free to chat. I'll be hanging around until halftime of the Chiefs game, barring an act of God or a bunch of viewers that I don't foresee popping on here tonight. Tomorrow would be a nice long day. Got international break in soccer, so no early games there. I will not be around super early. There are a plethora of games starting at noon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I believe, in the early window. That's 9 a.m. Pacific. I'll fire it up shortly after or around that time. And I'm guessing I'll stick around until maybe, tough to say. Hawaii does play at midnight Eastern. I'm not going to stick around for that one. There are 2 games at 10:15 as well. Stanford, BYU, and San Diego State, Washington State. I do like San Diego State a lot. I saw Washington State play last week. I was not impressed. I actually made San Diego State the favorite in this game. Jimmy Madison, the quarterback, rolls out. And he throws back to a wide open Dippery. And so the Dukes have taken a 6-0 lead thanks to a stoppage on downs. This is an 11-play, 39-yard, penalty-aided touchdown drive. 5:35 to go in the first. And the extra point is good. 7-0 Jimmy Madison. Underway in College Park. Maryland will get the ball first. I'll have to check the coin toss to see how that played itself out. So anyways, tomorrow, to make a long story a little bit less long, Tulsa, New Mexico State's on at 9 Eastern. UNLV, UCLA at 8. Bama, Monroe at 7:45. There's a bunch of games at 7:30. Some of them will be pretty good. I will stick around to at least Tulsa, New Mexico State kick. After that, it's questionable. Everything's questionable. Just have to see how I feel. Certainly last week was a 13-hour shift. I'm getting too old for that without having a bunch of people to talk to me all the time. So yeah, 7-0 now. Jimmy Madison takes the lead. The other game, again, as I said, Maryland's kicked off against Northern Illinois. Mac Invader. Maryland last week had 6 interceptions and a win over Florida Atlantic. That was a game where I was looking at trying to get involved maybe with Florida Atlantic early when they were kind of had the line of scrimmage and was playing pretty well. Turnovers eventually doomed them. I think that they had 6 interceptions and they were stopped on downs like 5 times. It was just a really weird game. I mean, it's about as bad as you can expect in terms of, it was 39-7. Let me double check this. I'm looking at the box right now. Yeah, Maryland only had 380 yards. The other team had 354. 6 interceptions and 3 of 9 on 4th down. So 6 stoppages of down. So Maryland literally got the ball 12 times back without FAU punting. I think they've only punted 1 time the whole game. 2, sorry. So you got 1 touchdown drive for Florida Atlantic, 2 punts, 6 interceptions, and 6 stoppages on down. Just a very, very odd game. Next up for Maryland after tonight, They play at they play at home against Towson State. That's next Saturday morning. So clearly, this is a game where they would have more attention, probably, even though Towson State's a regional rival, still a 1AA team. And Northern Illinois last week, they beat Holy Cross in a thriller, 19-17. Holy Cross has been in and out of the playoffs in 1AA the last few years. So obviously, any win against a playoff team when you're Northern Illinois, the way that they struggled last year, is a good win. I think they only won 3 games last year. It's a good win. Northern Illinois is off next week, and then they go to Mississippi State in week 4. Early on here, Northern Illinois has stopped Maryland on the first series. Let me double check. I assume that they probably won the toss and deferred. But there's a chance that Loxley won it and took the ball. I personally thought the line was a little high in this game, but again, 17 was the take, and it never quite got to that number. At least when I was involved. I think it did pop at some point. So Northern did win the toss and deferred, just like James Madison. Both visiting teams deferred, and Louisville down 7-0. The live price in that game, basically 6.5, give or take, and total 53.5, 54. As the Cardinals take over for the third time today, their third drive of this game. Northwestern has taken a 6-0 lead against Western Illinois. That game, Northwestern opened 27.5 this morning. A lot of these lines in these 1AA games against regular 1A opponents don't open until the day of the game. Same thing was when they play each other. I made the game 35. Probably like the favorite a little bit. Anything inside of like 30, but there's no market. I mean, when it opens 27.5, it gets bet immediately to 30, and you're not going to find more than 500 or $1,000 bucks. People are just taking out the numbers, and more times than not, my numbers will be in agreement with those who are out there picking up the crumbs first thing in the morning and ruining the market, because there just isn't much of a market to begin with on that stuff. The other game tonight, Eastern Washington at Boise. I made that game 29. The opener was 28.5. It's been bet up to 32.5, 33. There are some 31.5 still out there. I do not have a strong opinion on that game, obviously, and nothing to it on this end. Louisville takes over now at the 25, and they've lost a yard or two. I believe Northwestern's only playing like 3 more games at this home field on the beach that they've got, so it might be interesting to see that in action. That's on the alternate Big Ten channel, by the way, or one of them, main channel, Northern Illinois and Maryland. I'll be going back and forth there. The real fun will start when the NFL game goes, which is in about, I don't know, it says 8 on the line screens. I'm not sure when actual kickoff's going to be. If it's 8 Eastern, then technically 20 minutes. It says that, but we'll see. I'll believe it when I see it. Could be as late as like 8:20, like NBC did last night. What a fascinating game that was. 41 points in the first half. The total was 47.5, and somehow, some way, the game stays under. Well, we don't have to say somehow, some way. I know how. Once it rained out there, the field became a little bit more treacherous. The receivers, particularly Lamb for Dallas, couldn't catch balls, and the defensive coordinators had a whole hour on top of the halftime to make more adjustments. Shotgun after a James Madison penalty for either interference or holding has got the Cardinals out near midfield. 2nd and 5, clock running now. It'll be inside of 3 minutes when they snap it again. One of the things I liked about under here was the fact that Louisville's not playing with much pace, and neither does James Madison. And last week, Louisville was really dominating Eastern Kentucky at the line of scrimmage, which is no surprise. That's not the case tonight. Neither team is dominating up front. I really think under's the way still. I'm not going to sit here and have you blow your brains out on live on this game, but I think there's still 54 out there. I still think this is a dead under. If you want to go now, even before the first quarter's over with, I think if it's going to go in 7-0, then it'll be below the 52 that I recommended earlier. If you have in-game options where you can actually bet live while they're playing, you have my blessing. Go ahead. At any current level, 52 or better, it's still good. Here's run off left tackle. That's really about their most successful run play so far. That's Brown. He gets 5. Let me speed up things here. So Moss completes a pass, and there's a personal foul on Jimmy Madison. Let me slow my roll here with any more live recommendations. This drive has been way too easy, it looks like. Now they're throwing the ball with some success. That was Miller Moss's first completion of note, and they're going to attack on 15. Even then, it's not like they're chucking it all up and down the field. That was, he had a little bit of time and threw it for about 15. And hands to the face on Jimmy Madison. What did he do, punch the quarterback? I have to see the replay to get what happened there. Forgive the ice chomping. This is some good iced tea. Probably a little sweeter than what I should have made it. But win some, lose some. Look at this. Louisville shotgun, empty backfield, and they didn't even get the snap off in time. I told you, they're certainly not in any kind of hurry. And as long as the game stays competitive and close, which, given that you got a 16-point underdog ahead on the field, and it's supposed to stay close in theory, then that bodes well for a slow-paced game and therefore fewer plays. All that's supposed to equal under, right? So we'll see. There's some movement here on the total in the NFL game. It started at 44, 44.5. They bet it all the way up. I know Toons was involved with an over at the 45.5 level, maybe yesterday or the day before. And, oh, wow, we got a fumble. Does that play live? Yeah, Moss sacked for a loss of about 10. He fumbles it. And 9 for James Madison, which is not Sluka. He's the quarterback. It's the defensive number 9. Picks it up, and Jimmy Madison is in business at their own 31. 36 seconds to go in the first. Another good development for my under. It looks like he might have been down. It was really close. They slung him to the ground, and it looks like he hit. No, the replay shows that ball was coming out. So, nice play by 7 to get the sack. And the Dukes keep Louisville off the board in their next possession as well. So Louisville, punt, downs, fumble. Jimmy Madison, punt, and then a touchdown on the short field. They have it with 46 seconds to go. Barnett back at QB for the Dukes. Motion left out of the trips. They throw it back to the left. That's complete. DeGennaro, he's out to about the 40. That's going to be enough for the first down. They line up in a hurry. Trips right. Back offset to the left of the quarterback in the shotgun. And Louisville in a 4-3. They've backed out, and now James Madison's not going to snap the ball. So again, this is playing into what I talked about. Even now it's 51. I'd go under that. It's a good bet again. I'm going to tack on here. Hang on. Yeah, I don't see this. For me, it's a dead nut under. Another unit at 51. Anything more than 48.5 is good. Yeah, the numbers in town are cheaper, but offshore I see 51. That's what the order's at. I would say you can go ahead and go under 48.5. I'm going to chart myself. It is in 51 flat. He actually got under minus 111. So I'll explain why in a second here. I really don't understand how it's this high. I mean, the pace of play is extremely slow. The first quarter, there were only 32 plays total combined by both teams. Louisville got the ball first, 3 and out. They lost yardage. Jimmy Madison, 3 and out on incomplete passes. Louisville had the ball, 7 plays, only 19 yards. They had it for almost 3 minutes. Jimmy Madison, short field, took over at the 39. It took him 5:35 to score. It took him 11 plays to score. They also got in because of a third down bogus penalty on Louisville, in my opinion. And then the next drive, Louisville takes it down, 7 plays, 44 yards, got it down into field goal range and fumbled. So now Jimmy Madison runs 1 play, and then they run the clock out. So they didn't even bother after there was like a 2-second differential between game and play, and they lined up quick to see if they liked what they saw. They didn't, so they didn't run a play. So obviously when you're a big dog like James Madison, you're controlling the line of scrimmage, you're in the game, you're not in any hurry. Shortening the game in theory, prolongs your chances to win when you're a group of 5 against a power 4 on the road. The James Madison coach knows that. Live price is down to Louisville 3 and 3.5, and the totals are, like I say, 51 under money. But like I say, 51 under is a good bet. So I've already put it on the chat for you and got it for prosperity. But one more unit under 51 minus 111. So 2.5 units live on under. So this will be a nice little sweat. Highly recommended. Hopefully it's helpful. Hopefully I got enough of you watching. If you haven't done anything with it yet and you're on the fence, the pregame price was 56.5 and there was a 57 out there late. I just don't see it. I mean, obviously overtime is always a threat with what's happened so far. There's a chance they could get back in it, but I mean, there's a chance they could end up that way. But I mean, from what I've seen so far, I don't think anything's going to come easy for either offense. As long as you keep the defensive and special teams touchdowns away, and James Madison continues to play slow, and Louisville clearly is in no hurry so far on offense. And as long as that stays that way, then we're in good shape here. So under 52 and 51, 2 live plays in at 1.5 and 1 unit each. Good luck to everybody who follows. Good health to those who are on the other side. Northwestern up 13-0, scoring a touchdown again, 6:44 in the first. Maryland and Northern Illinois, they're midway through the first quarter in College Park. I'll give you a box score update there. I've been really balls deep in the Louisville game to this point. And, the Huskies have 22 yards to Maryland's 7. So that's really not much to that so far. The drive chart's quite simple. Maryland got it first, went 3 and out. Northern Illinois had the ball for 11 plays in 6.5 minutes. Only got 22 yards total and ended up punting. So Maryland takes over at their own 20. The quarterback for Northern Illinois is 1 for 1 for 2 yards. They ran it 10 times for a total of 20 yards. Quarterback lost 7, so he got sacked or lost something doing whatever. Wright has 6 carries, 25 yards. 1 was for 13. So If you take out that one play for Northern Illinois, that means they've ran 10 plays for a total of 9 yards. Clearly not much offense in that game either. And this was another game where people saw what happened last week with all the turnovers and Maryland scoring off of them. Only 39. I say that with the big favorite that they were. And in that game, like I said, they had 12. They got the ball 12 times off of non-punts, 6 interceptions and 6 stoppages on downs. And the total opened 48.5 today and was bet all the way down to 45, 44.5. It's now in the 38.5 range, and I got to be honest with you, I don't see how that game gets to 40 points either. I would strongly lean under from what I've seen so far. I've only watched about 6 plays. 7:21 to go in the first. I think I might have mentioned that against FAU also. I saw the defense is playing pretty good there, and then lo and behold, Florida Atlantic started giving Maryland really short fields, and they just kept scoring. A lot of times it was only field. I think they sort of kicked a few chip shot field goals, so they couldn't even get a first down. The endless procession of changing quarterbacks at what used to be called Papa John's Cardinal Stadium continues for James Madison. We played 90 seconds in the second quarter. 2-yard gain, followed by a 7-yard gain, by a 4-yard gain. These are all short passes. A 5-yard run and a gain up the middle for 1 yard. So this will set up 3rd and 4 for Jimmy Madison. 12:35 to go. Second quarter as they continue to play slow and milk it, which is great for the under. I'm curious to see, like I say, Louisville, I'm surprised they're having this much trouble. Really, James Madison's offense is about as basic as I've seen. You really almost, when you see him line up, you kind of know what's coming or you have an idea what's coming. Sluka back out, Barnett in again. Clock moving. So, let's see what they do this time. The back lost his helmet on that second down carry, by the way, which in college means you got to sit out for a play unless there's a timeout. I don't make the rules. That's Petaway. He's their lead back. He has 4 carries for 20 yards. The long for James Madison, their longest play from scrimmage, is only 12 yards. Shotgun, trips left in a bunch type formation, pretty tight, close to the line. Louisville trying to get the crowd involved. They have 4. It's basically a 4-4 here. They got everybody in the box, and it works. James Madison gets 1 yard running this time. That'll be from Barnett, and it's going to be 4th and 3. And once again, the Dukes are on the same part of the field that they were the last time. Remember, on 4th and 3 on the other side, they're going the other direction this time. But they had the same, well, they actually had 4th and 7 or 4th and 8 instead of 4th and 3. So this is an easy decision to go for it. And they were sacked, but there was a defensive holding penalty on Louisville that extended the drive and ultimately led to a touchdown. Clock moving now down to 11:30. Play clock is at 10. James Madison again has 3 receivers close to the quarterback, but on the left side. Now they motion one of them to the right. Drops back to pass. Plenty of time. That's deflected and incomplete. Had time. And James Madison's, after a couple of short completions on that drive at the start of the quarter, this one's by Barnett is incomplete, and the Cards take over on downs. 11:19 to go in the second. James Madison 7, Louisville 0. Live total, remarkably enough, is still 48 if you look for it. I would bet under that. I'm not going to sit here and blow my brains out, but I've seen enough in this game. I mean, the defenses are clearly better than the offenses so far, and that might change. But when you combine defenses having the advantage with the slow pace, it's real simple to go under. That's a big number. It really is. I mean, the James Madison touchdown came on a short field and was aided by a penalty. And, Louisville's offense has left a lot to be desired so far. James Madison's making them work for everything. And, again, with both teams playing slow, it just sets up for a game that I just don't see the points coming in bunches at any point. Maryland has moved it down into the red zone. Washington's last pass on a little corner route was over everybody's head, and it's now 4th and 6. They are, I believe, in the red zone. It's going to set up a field goal. No, it's a little further than that. It's about 25 maybe. Going to set up a field goal attempt. He dropped back on the pass, so it's a 19, so 36. Up. Good. That's O'Hare from 36. 8 plays, 62 yards, 257. Maryland 3, Northern Illinois 0. Live price there from a pregame number of 16.5 and 44.5, 45 is now Maryland 14 with dog money attached, so probably 13.5 minus money as well. And the total is 39.5. I would only have under in this game too. These two college games, I don't know whether that's going to continue with these games where you're on the fence about the totals, but so far, barrage of unders in week 1, and we're continuing. There were no college games last night, so this is the first set of games in week 2, and they're all just dead nut unders again. Again, very early in the proceedings, and we'll have to see how it shakes out, if things change a little bit later. But as of now, again, the defenses have the best of it in these, for all 4 of these teams in the 2 games. Live price in James Madison, Louisville, the Cards are now 5.5 as they take over, with much better field position. That's higher than the 3 it was earlier. Total, again, 47.5 over money, 48 flat. Hope you can hear me. I just realized the mic was out of position. This may or may not help. No one's complained yet. Got a few people checking me out. Hopefully you've been involved. I look forward. Chat me if you bet something on this live and you're with me. I want to see some people sweating this thing. Tell some friends after we get this dub on the under in Louisville. Who knows? It could change at any point. If I see the offenses start to wake up, or that they over adjust the total too much and create value for over, then you pounce back in and see what you can get yourself. As of now, 200 bets. So Louisville has Brown rushing for 6 yards. Isaac Brown, there are 2 of them. He's their main guy. And then Miller Moss telegraphs a slant. And all I can say about that is very, very fortunate that it wasn't picked and run back for a touchdown. The corner for James Madison jumped that thing, and it should have been pick 6. That's all really I can say about that. The good thing there is it wasn't a pick 6 for the under. The other good thing is maybe the coach can, sort of like, hey, buddy, show him the tape and say that happens again. We're going to be forced to never throw it again. That's terrible. I mean, Jesus. Third and 4, rolls right, throws it. That's Bell. And this one's complete for a first down. So they went back to the same side on the same receiver, same matchup. And this time it's a first down for the Cards. Move it now down to the Jimmy Madison 46. Clock moving, 10.5 to go. Here you go. Jimmy Madison has run 18 plays on the Louisville side of the ball of the 50. And this will be Louisville's 3rd snap on James Madison's side of the field. Another reason how you create an upset when you're a 16-point dog is to win the battle of field position. Moss drops back. He's going to take a shot. This is to Bell again, and it's over everybody's head. 10 minutes to go in the half. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Cards. Again, I mean, their protection was okay that time. They actually blitzed the corner there, and he was thrown into the blitz. The safety got over there and made a play. Well, really, the pass wasn't good enough to be even remotely close, and yet the blitz wasn't close enough to get remotely close either. Just a whole lot of mediocrity. Screen. Absolutely ate up. No chance. Gonna lose about 5. Man, they had it set up okay. If he makes the first guy miss, Louisville got a convoy of guys downfield. Their whole line was together looking for guys to block. They just didn't get the first guy blocked. 3rd and 15. Moss to Isaac Brown. That's another screen. He broke a tackle, then he broke another tackle, and he actually got it to the point where if he didn't do that, they probably would have had to think about punting. Now it's 4th and 3 at the Jimmy Madison 39, and they'll probably go for it. Clock moving inside of 9 minutes. Yeah. The analytics people say go. I agree with them. Offset I. Under center, Moss takes it. Oh, nice play. Throws it. Looks like that was the tight end that was lined up as the fullback, and he sort of ran an arrow route in the backfield. That's complete inside the 20. There is a flag. So Skinner makes the play. It's holding its Jimmy Madison. It is declined, so the Cardinals take over now. They're in the sorry, they didn't take over. They continue the drive after the 4th down conversion. They're now 1 for 2 on 4th down, and they have it in the red zone. Clock moving now. Inside of 8:15 to play in the first half. Rich Eisen and Kirk Warner. I like Kirk Warner. He's a good analyst. Rich Eisen, great guy, subpar play-by-play man. Thankfully for me, I'm going to go ahead and be happy that I've got this thing on mute. Quarterback ends up running to the left. There is a flag. Moss got maybe 3 or 4. Don't know what the flag is yet. Looks like maybe a hold. The girl ref, the line judge, is talking to the referee. I can't read her lips, his lips. They picked it up. It looks like whatever it was. 2nd and 6. Cardinals at the James Madison 16. I think it's closer to a long 6 or short 7, whatever. Clock stopped at 7:56. Let's go ahead and wind that thing for those of us who have under, please. Thank you. What are we doing? James Madison showing blitz. What's this? Now there's a flag. Delay a game on the defense. I'm going to guess that somebody was simulating the snap. So now it'll be 2nd and maybe 1. Yeah, the umpire, whatever happened there, the umpire threw the flag before Moss even had a chance to check anything. That's a power play right up the middle, down to the James Madison 3. That's Watson for 8. And that's Louisville's longest carry of the game. They still only has 15 rushes for 18 yards. Louisville trying to go a little faster, it looks like this time. They like the defense that James Madison and doesn't want him to sub. Shotgun now, and we have illegal. They've got, looks like the right tackle for Louisville jumped. Offsides defense. There's a reason he jumped. I guess that would be encroachment, maybe. All right, so Louisville has 2nd and goal at the 1. 1st and goal at the 2-ish. I'm focusing on this game more than the others, and I apologize for that just because of the fact with the 2 underplays. I want to see if there's something that happens here. I really feel like even if Louisville scores a touchdown, then we're still not in bad shape with this under. They've taken a long time to do it. Hammering it down on a power play to the 1 now. That's Watson. Clock moving now inside of 7 minutes. Maryland has the ball against Northern Illinois. That's late in the first quarter. 3-0 Terps. I don't see Northern Illinois doing a whole lot on offense. I've seen enough up there. Maryland's defense is clearly going to be better than advertised. I don't know how good Florida Atlantic and Northern Illinois are going to end up being. And I do know that Maryland was picked near the bottom of the Big Ten. But, so far they've shown some improvement. Oh, wow. Louisville tried to run the ball and penetration into the backfield. The tackle shot the gap, and no one touched him. He's going to be knocked back all the way to the 6 and maybe the 5. And Louisville now have 3rd and goal. So going backwards, negative EV for the Cards. Let's reset things in College Park as well. They're at the end of the first quarter up there. It's going to be 3rd and 5 for Maryland. James Madison now has 5 tackles for loss to 1 for Louisville. That's also the recipe for a win when you're a 16-point dog, is to make positive plays or force negative plays for the other team's offense. Moss rolls right, rolls, stops, sets, fires, and Bell had it, but he dropped it. Stuck him right at the end of the play in the end zone, and he can't hold on. And the Cards are probably going to settle for 3. Man, he worked his way open at the very end. The pass was a little bit high. Is there a bug in here? Pass was a little bit high, but still should have been caught or could have been caught. But at the last second, one of the deep backs for James Madison 5 got his hat in there and gave him a good whack. 4th and goal. Are the Cards setting up to go for it here? Nope. Field goal attempt. This will be a 22-yarder. Snap down up, right through the middle. And so, 5:21 to go before halftime. And that's what you call a good win for the total. Anything where you have the ball for 13 plays, 56 yards, and 5:58 and get a field goal out of it, that's what I call muy bueno. It's James Madison 7, Louisville 3. 5:21 to go. The Cardinals laying 16 before the game started. The new price on the live lines, there's some wild variations. 3.5 minus money, 5.5 the dog a bunch, 4.5 the dog a little, 4.5 flat-ish. Totals in a lot more agreement. 44 flat, 44 under money. Which, by the way, I've seen nothing to tell me that total is right. I still think that's too high. You're going to tell me 34 points are going to be scored in the second half plus these 5 minutes? I don't see it. If you missed it earlier, I had under 52 for a unit and a half and under 51 minus 111 for a unit. And I would go under 44, flat or better. For another, I'm good right now. I don't need to do anything else. But separate of everything else from what I've seen so far, I have no problem. If you want to dip your toe in the water, you have my blessing. I just think this game, first one to maybe 17, wins it. Let's get up to speed on the other games I mentioned. Maryland leads Northern Illinois 3-0 at the end of one. Live prices there, basically Maryland laying 11.5, 12, whatever. Total 37-ish, 36, whatever, give or take. It's first down Northern after they get a Maryland stop and force a punt. 3rd and 5, Maryland throws an incomplete pass. It was good penetration by the Northern Illinois defense. Fat guy number 0 with a deflection, bat down pass, and force a punt. Northern gets it at their own 30. 14:49 to go before half. Maryland doubling them up, yardage 74-37. 3 first downs to 2 for Northern. Total plays 17-13. Yards per play 5.7 to 2.2. That's largely due to a 48-yard catch by Fleming from Washington. That's really the only play of any substance for either side tonight. Led to a field goal, and that's the difference. Maryland 3-zap as the second quarter gets underway. Huskies have it at their own 30. Jimmy Madison 7-3 over Louisville. Cards lay 15.5-16. Good two-way game. Not a whole lot of action to it. Kind of sat where it was most of the week. Total opened as high as 56.5 and got bet up a little and then back down. And I've been heavily interested in under from the get-go. And nothing's changed. There is a 43.5 out there now, so been bet down a smidge. Just for those wondering and waiting, sorry. The TV situations for these 3 games I'm watching. ESPN2 for James Madison Louisville, Big Ten channel for Northern Illinois Maryland, and YouTube TV for Chargers and Chiefs. And that ball is in the air and we're underway. The Chargers kick, the Chiefs return it. It's a good return. 35-40 out to the 47, and here come the flags. First play of the night, and the refs are involved again. Refs. As my good friend John Murray at the Westgate and my mentor Ed Sammons at the Westgate would say, refs. And the refs. I'm not sure where they're going to take the Chiefs back to. I will be largely focusing on the college until we get closer to halftime. I'll briefly say what's happening in the NFL just to keep you up to speed if you're not home and you're listening to me on the phone. And even if there's not a lot of you watching this now, I know that this is something I'm going to have a habit of getting into. And I think it will grow into something that people will like. So instead of listening to Sirius XM or some other sports radio station or listening to one game, you'll get me for your one-stop shopping for both the play-by-play type things and down distance status of the game, and then more importantly, what the point spread is and the live line is. And again, when we get closer to halftime, the halftime prices. Let's see. So that one's underway. The closing line at Sao Paulo. Chargers are the de facto home team, even though there is a Chiefs logo in one of the end zones. Chiefs close 3, 47.5, and that's a fairly universal price. Mahomes the Chiefs have tried to establish the run here early to be 3rd and 6 at about the 28. So that penalty knocked them back to the 24 to start the drive. Maryland, Northwestern, 3-zap. Second quarter, as I said, or Northern Illinois, I said underway. And Louisville, a commercial. Not sure what happened in that game. 5:21. It's been sitting on 5:21. Maybe there was an injury. But with those games being, one of them's late in the second quarter, the other one, the second quarter's underway, I'll be focusing on some of that and then also, mentioning what's happening in the NFL. Got to say the YouTube TV feed is extremely clear and crisp. It looks like it's like the best feed I've ever seen for this television. Like you could see, it's like comparing SD to HD. When HD come out, you could watch like the Masters in high def. It was like the most incredible thing of all time. Trips left for the Chiefs. Mahomes went back to pass. Really nothing there. The Chargers were playing man and nothing there. One of the receivers slipped and looks like he got hurt. I'm not sure why this Louisville James Madison game, it's been a commercial for like 7 minutes. I don't know whether they double banged us, but they shouldn't need to have done that. I mean, there's been a bunch of plays and a bunch of chances for commercials. There's no reason. Like there hasn't been any like 10-minute drives to cheat the TV timeout people from getting their ad revenue in. Chiefs punt it down to like the 33. My one prop bet in that game, pregame, it's over on quarterback for the the Chargers, the rushing yards. Herbert, over. This is like a preseason game. Kelsey slammed right into his own receiver when they were running a pick play. The funny thing about it is that even if they don't touch each other, Mahomes' pass wasn't good enough for anybody to catch it. No commercial, 94 seconds in Brazil, and these are some snazzy uniforms by San Diego. Here comes Herbert, first play pulls it back and runs, and that's a great start for me. Stay healthy, please. The first bet we made on that was 15.5, and the second one was 17. And yeah, I could use like 3 more of those, and then whatever happens the rest of the night's fine with me. You figure you're going to get a best chance to get quarterbacks that are mobile to actually tuck it and run in these situations. Start of the season, healthy, you figure you got your best chance for him to make plays. And plus, this is a division game. Anything that it takes to win, do it. So he got 6 on first down. A roll out left. This is a nice concept here. The whole flow of the play was going the other way, and he dumps it off right. And Johnston catches it, and they are in business. Looks like already in field goal range after just 2 snaps. Really interesting formation. 8 was the only back. Everybody was kind of bunched in close. Just a good concept, good execution. The Chiefs had no really. He could have threw that to any of the receivers. They were all open. Just took the easy, safe route because there was the yard after catch was always going to be there. All right, so I don't know how James Madison got the ball back, but they did. That's going to require. Oh yeah, because of the Louisville field goal. Jesus, too many games are going on. I got to do better. There's only 3 of them. So they started the 25. We got 3 plays for a 3-yard run, a complete pass for nothing, a complete pass for 6, and now it's 4th and 1 at the 35, 34, 35. They're going to go for it. Clock on the move. They've also gone for it once on 4th down and didn't get it. The other time they did, the penalty saved them, so they really should be 1 and 2. Here comes the quarterback up the line. Cardinals are not fooled. Now the quarterback is jumping. Hut, simulate, now drops out, and now they're going to either call timeout or going to punt. I think the coach is arguing that one of the Louisville defenders was in the neutral zone, but he got back out. And now, at 3:14 to go, they do call timeout. So now it's a question of whether they go for it or not. Being the fact that they're catching this many points and their defense is playing this well, I don't know. I mean, the argument can be made if your defense isn't getting any stops and you're still winning, but you're scoring with them, then you go for it. But if your defense is playing this well, you don't want to give Louisville a short field here, especially given that you're catching 16, you're winning on the field, and you get the ball at halftime. I mean, in any case, punt it down here, and as long as they don't score a touchdown, you're going to be ahead at the half, and you get the ball first. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm not Pat Buchanan, Mr. Conservative most of the time, but given where they were lined up there, and Louisville did line up in the neutral zone, but if he's not touching him and they don't snap it, that's not a penalty. Yeah, if James Madison would have snapped the ball there, it would have been a 5-yard penalty. Look, I mean, they're looking right at the ref. They're saying, hey, but I mean, the ref can't call that penalty if they don't snap the ball. Now what? Let's see if they're lined up in the shotgun. So a back right. Now it's a quarterback draw, and he gets it. So no issues. It's got to be Sluka again. Yeah, this is just a dream scenario for the under. Really is. We're now down inside of 3 minutes before halftime. James Madison down to 1 timeout. Louisville has all 3 of theirs. Chargers are now in the red zone. Herbert tucks it again. How many did he get there? It's imperative for me to get this rush. I want to get this rushing thing out of the way as soon as possible. He needed to beat Carlitis there. If he would have, it would have been a first down. Maybe a touchdown. 3rd and 8 at the 10. Shotgun. Trips left. Drops back. Fires it. End zone. Flag down. It's incomplete. Let's see what the flag is. Jimmy Madison, their right tackle's down. After that quarterback draw. Carl Treffer says the Chiefs are cheating. Carlitis lines up offsides, I guess. I don't think I saw him jump. So now it's 3rd and 3 at the 5. Back to the right side, motions back over. trips left, bunch formation. Herbert fires wide open, touchdown. And the first touchdown of the evening, Johnston and the Chargers have taken the lead. There is a flag. Let's see if the dancing continues or not. Looks like it will. Touchdown is good. Personal foul, roughing the passer. Please don't rough the passer, at least until he gets his 18 yards. Carlitis again. Jesus, this guy's trying to ruin my night. 9:11 to go in the first. Kansas City 3 and out. Chargers right down the field for a touchdown. And live price is going to flip. And San Diego will be the favorite in this game. It's just good execution. The defender for the Chiefs fell down. Herbert, obviously, with his head on the swivel and saw what was happening. All right, let's see the status of what's going on here now. Let's see, Maryland at the Northern Illinois 26. There's a run. So now we're inside of 10 minutes. They'll have 2nd and 6 at the 24. Jimmy Madison clock moving now to around 2:11. And they'll have 3rd and 6. Barnett completed a short pass to Petaway and then another one for nothing out of bounds. 3rd and 6, 2:11 left, clock moving. And that's going to get us to the 2-minute warning. 7-3, James Madison leads. And the ball is at their own 42. They had another play where they never were going to snap it. They were lined up in trips left. Everybody was way out wide. And the Turtles are in. I haven't seen it yet on the TV. The Big 10 feed is a delay for me. Fleming has caught his 4th pass for 70 yards. This one is a 12-yarder for Malik Washington. And there it is. It's just good execution. Nice pass, rolls right. Defense was there. Not good coverage is not good enough. Dorian Fleming is in. 6 plays, 47 yards, 2:51 off the clock. Maryland 10, Northern Illinois nothing. Live price now 17.5. Total is 38 under. Got to be honest, I don't see how Northern Illinois scores unless Maryland calls it off, and they have no reason to really with 1 AA on deck. $7-0 Chargers. Live line pretty much painted 3. Total 50.5, and there is some 51. The game closed. It opened 44, closed 47.5. So with that touchdown coming less than 6 minutes in, that's why the algorithms are spitting out a higher number than the game. You know, with it being 47.5, that averages less than a point a minute. They've already got 7 in less than 6. So the math geeks have known this. I've explained this before. At some point when there are not 3 games and only 1 going on, maybe on Sunday night or Monday night especially, I will sort of maybe explain how the live algorithm is done for totals. We did this first when I started doing live in 2006. 2007-ish is easy. Just have a calculator out, and everything revolves around the number 60 in football and the number 48 and the NFL. I'm sorry, the NBA, and the number 40 in college basketball, the number of minutes that are in the game. And of course, you need to know the opening total and work off of that. Divide that number into how many minutes are played, and that's how you know how many average points are scored per minute. And again, this is just a very elementary number. Obviously, the algorithm can spit out something in its sleep when you have those basic details, but you have to factor in the other things. And the other thing for me, which is what I told you about during the Louisville James Madison, I could see it real early. Both teams were playing exceedingly slow. Both teams were having trouble doing much. Neither team was willing to take a shot down the field. Really, Louisville threw 1 long pass and never had a chance. And yards are hard to come by. The offensive lines have struggled by and large. And as we stand, a total that the game total was 56.5, 57. And the points were going to be hard to come by, and they have been. Easy underplays, 52 early, 51 at the end of the quarter. And it's sitting now still on 10. The live total now 40.5 under a bunch. Mahomes, first play out after the kick, has rolled left and gets a first down. Right at the marker, they're going to spot him out to the 46. Jimmy Madison, 3rd and 6, 2-minute warning at their own 42. Again, this will be the focus until we get to halftime based on the pregame, well, based on the live thoughts, obviously, with 2 live bets tapped in. False start on the right guard, and so it's going to be 3rd and 12. Lots of baseball underway. I need to clear my screen off. There's too much going on here. It's got me my head on a swivel. Mahomes. This is to his tight end, Kelsey. That's going to be good for a first down. This is into San Diego territory now. They got it at the 43. No chats. Please feel free. You're here. You're in the pool. The water's fine. Don't be scared. Jump right in. 90 minutes into this thing tonight. Probably go for 90 more. Something happening here. The Chiefs are jumping around. Some sort of emotion. I feel like they had a play that they liked and somebody jumped. Carl Cheffer's the official tonight. The ref. The main ref. He's done some Super Bowls. 18 years he's done this. As a main ref, I should say. Let's see. So 1st and 15, the Chiefs are back out to the 48. Clock running, 7 minutes to go in the first. Mahomes throws a quick slant. Caught. I don't know if he ever went down or not. That's Juju Smith-Schuster. Give him maybe 5. Back to the original spot. James Madison sacked. And they will have to punt. 4th and forever. Now they do punt. Louisville gets it now. 142 when they punt it. It's oh boy, wow. It hit and it went all the way back. This is going to be like a 9-yard punt. And that's, oh wow, I did not expect that. Louisville was going to have to play fast to get anything, and now they don't. They've got the ball in James Madison field position at the 37 to start this drive, 142. The clock's not even a factor. Moss drops back, plenty of time, all day to throw. They're only rushing 4. He completes it out of bounds to Bell, his main man. That's at the 29. So it's going to be 2nd and 2 for the Cards. I like to hold them to 3 here. If we get this thing to halftime, 7-6, really good shape. Northern Illinois has the ball, 6:45 to go before the half up there. Thomas Hammock. This will be the best team they played in the non-conference, I think. No, they got Mississippi State in a couple weeks. Remember, they did win last year in South Bend against Notre Dame, who was a playoff team. Louisville took a shot there to Bell. Man coverage. The defensive back, Culp, is chirping at him. It'll be 3rd and short, 1:30 to go. Kind of a free play, I think, that they treated it as. I'm guessing if they don't get it on 3rd and short, they'll probably go for it. Chiefs have 3rd and 9. It's Josh Simmons, 71 for the Chiefs, was drafted this year after getting injured at Ohio State, missed the end of the season, including the playoffs, the talar tendon. But they like him. That's why they were able to let one of their stud linemen go in free agency. Northern Illinois is taking it to Maryland territory. Holds to 6 for 8 for 46 yards. Clock continues to move. Louisville has a first down at the 22. That's an 8-yard completion to Lacey. His second catch. Moss now 10 for 16, 76 yards, and the Cardinals jump. 1:16 left. They'll go back 5. 1st and 15 at the 27. Total yards in this game, Jimmy Madison 67, Louisville 91. Average yards per play 2.3 to 2.8. Again, this is when you just take advantage of what you see with your eyes and you ignore what the pregame number was and you say, pregame line, you were wrong. and the algorithm that's spitting out the live price off of that pregame line, you are also wrong. I'm going to bet you and beat you. There's not one moment tonight where I've looked up there and said that I think over has to be the play. It's just not been there. Chiefs punt it down to the 2. Nice coverage. Charger guy probably could have made a play, but it would have been tough. It was kind of a poor punt, not much hang time. Not sure what the refs got going on in the Louisville game here. 1:06 to go. Oh, is a clock run off? Maybe 10 seconds? Fine by me. Clock moving now. We're inside of a minute to go. Moss drops back, hits his back. That's Isaac Brown. Catches it at the 25 and falls forward to about the 20. So it's going to be 2nd and 8. Louisville does have 2 timeouts left, and they do call one of them. 42 seconds to go. Chiefs have punted. Chargers will take over for the 2nd time after scoring a touchdown on their first. 2 Kansas City punts have bookended that. 7-0. 6 minutes to go in the first. The line now 3.5. Chargers, the so-called quote home team in this game, were catching 3 at post. They're now laying 3.5. Total 48. Pretty equivalent to what, and there's under money for the most part. Pretty similar to what the game closed. They reset the clock to 45 seconds in the Derby City. Cards trail 7-3. They have 9 first downs to 6 for James Madison. Clock running in College Park, and it's inside of 3 minutes. And now Northern Illinois has a flag. They go back from the 27 to the 32. Louisville, nothing doing. Browns run to the right. I've been impressed with Jimmy Madison's defense. Really, they've really stymied what Louisville's trying to do at the point of attack. Moss shotgun. Here comes a blitz. Moss rolls right, fires. Incomplete into the end zone. The intended receiver was Bell again. Bell has 3 catches for 19 yards, but they've targeted him 9 times. So really, it's clear what Moss is trying to do. He's 11 for 18, and 6 of his 7 incompletions have gone in the direction of Bell. 4th and 8 for the Cards. They're going to have to kick a field goal. Ranvier, the kicker for Louisville this time. This will be a 38-yarder. Snap, down, up. Right down the middle. James Madison 7, Louisville 6. That's what the score is going to be at halftime. I'm guessing the live line in this is going to be Louisville maybe 4? No, maybe 6. Tough to say for sure. They're down by 1. I'll say 6. Total 27 is too high. I've watched it with my own eyes. I mean, pregame 56.5, 57 would be 27.5, 28. I'm going to say 26 at the most. 26 maybe under money, or 24.5 over a little bit. Any of that's the same. Let's see, Northern Illinois, what's happening up there? 2:28 to go before halftime. 2-minute warning. 3rd and 7 at their own 28. They've had the ball for an hour. Yeah, Maryland's had it for 8 minutes, and Northern Illinois has had it for 20. This drive, they've had it for right at 6 minutes. Sorry, right at 7 minutes. Let's see where it started. I'm just curious, just out of curiosity. I mean, every time I look, the second quarter's gone by so fast in that game. Clippers are going to have to punt back to Kansas City. 5 minutes to go in the quarter. Clock on the move. They had it at the 10, so what was it, 3rd and 2? They just tried a wham play, and the running back really, all he had to do was cut back left. He busted right instead. There were maybe a guy that could have made an arm tackle for Kansas City at the line, but instead they couldn't. The blocker couldn't get off. The defensive guy got off the blocker and made a play. Good shed, and they have to punt. It's a good punt, booming back to the 34. The return is out to the 40-43, so about a 9-yard return. Kansas City will start the 43, 4:28 to go. Probably be a timeout, 7-0. Chargers, current live price 2.5 and roughly 48, maybe some 48.5 out there. So yeah, this is a 13-play, 62-yard drive, 7:11 off the clock. This is the fourth drive. Maryland's 4 drives: punt, touchdown, punt, field goal, punt, touchdown. Northern Illinois punt, downs, and now a 13-play drive that you think they're going to get something out of it. They're in the red zone. Halftime at the Pizza Palace. Jimmy Madison, 7-6, as a 15.5-point dog, and with a total that was clearly exposed as being fraudulent and incorrect early. 56, 56.5, and 57. And we have some live under, as you see in the chat. I'll try to do the best I can to put any of the live and halftime plays into the chat so anybody checking in and out can see how they perform. Yeah, so 7-6 at the break. Looking for some halftime prices to pop. I'll be sure to let you know when they do. Northern Illinois has got a first down. Shavon Wright for 12. He also has a 13-yard carry. So really, 2 plays, 25 yards, and then he has 17 carries total for 64. So and here he rips one for 8. So Northern now at 3rd and 4. Maryland called the timeout there after he lost 2 to try to sort of save the clock at 1:29. Wright gets 8, so it's 3rd and 4 now, 1:22 to go in the half. This also forces a Maryland timeout. So the Terps have called 1 timeout in anticipation of getting the ball back. Halftime prices are popping. Pinnacle went with a 27. I think that ain't even close to being right. I don't know who's watching the game there to make that number. 27 under 27 is actually a good bet. 26.5s are popping. That's still too high. 26 at Bet Online seems in the ballpark. Paradise Wager 26 under 13. Kudos. I think that's about where I would have started. Chiefs. What happened here? Incomplete pass? I think so. The defensive back's arguing that he caught it. He thinks he caught it. We're going to find out in a second. No, he didn't. He can think that all he wants to. He's the camera, when they slow it down like that, the defensive back, it's just almost impossible for a catch to be confirmed. It has to be confirmed on the field, then you got to get lucky that they don't return it. If they call it incomplete on the field, you're dead. And they stack them up at the line. I'm really impressed with the San Diego defense. They have clearly done their homework here. They're in good positions to make plays. The Chiefs were supposed to have an explosive offense here, and I realize they're missing one of their weapons. But, I mean, their guys know where they're going before the Kansas City guys on most of these plays. Northern Illinois on the 3rd and 6 play. Once again, just steadfast to running, and it works. Right again. This has been a really impressive piece of work. And for whatever reason, Maryland calls their last time out. I don't know what that's all about. I mean, they're trying to, they assume that it's going to be they're going to let them score so they can get the ball back. I don't even know the thought process. 1st and goal for Northern at the 5. And Maryland's out of timeouts after not getting the stop. I mean, I'm not saying that Northern's going to take 3 knees and kick a field goal. They're not going to try to not score until 3rd down and run the clock out. But as little success as Maryland's had on offense. I mean, I don't know. I mean, 6.4 yards a play and 121 yards is not anything to like say that they're moving it up and down the field. I mean, they have a 48-yard catch and another like 20-yard catch. Other than that, there's really been nothing doing for the Maryland offense. I don't know why they're just calling timeouts and expecting to get the ball back after this possession. They're just going to go right down and score it in less than a minute. I don't get it. I can only aspire to make the money these YouTube people do that they're putting on TV. Destroying, never heard of him. I'm sure he makes a lot of money. Okay, halftime price in Louisville. Jimmy Madison 7-6. They were a 15.5, 16-point dog at post. Total in the 56 range, 56.5, 57ish, depending. Louisville down by 1, outright. And James Madison gets the ball first. Line is as high as 7. There are 7s in town and offshore. What's happening here? The tight end for the Chiefs for the Chargers got stuck. Conklin and fumbles it, and now it goes out of bounds, and now there's a penalty because you can't bat it out of bounds, I think. All right, let's get back to that. There's a lot happening there. Total 26.5, 26 under money. There is a 27 under 37 at Pinnacle. But yeah, it's kind of steady. There's not a whole lot of movement there. I agree with it. I think I said before it went in that those are going to be the prices. I thought 6 would be the number for Louisville, or 6.5. I tend to think that it's probably about right. This Northern Illinois drive has now been 16 plays and 73 yards. Northern calls their second timeout. 35 seconds to go. Sorry. Yeah, okay. Second and goal, 35 seconds. I'm going to look forward to reading this to you after the drive's over with and or it goes to halftime. Man, I mean, the Chiefs look all way out of sorts. I mean, this pass by the quarterback, I mean, this guy's wide open, this tight end. He did get hit hard and fumble. They did dock him 15, I think, or 10 for the illegal batting out of bounds. So they're back to the 44. Herbert drops back and flings it down, and that's, for Allen, but he can't hang in there. Tried to catch it and pull a touch act with his feet. Couldn't get him in. That's one of those plays where if only had to have one of them down, he probably would have caught it. Actually, now that I see it, he probably should have caught it. Big Ten versus MAC last 3 seasons, 23-0. Let's see if Northern can put a stop to that tonight. Pitch left. Not anything doing. They've given Wright a lot of dosage. He has 19 carries now. Third and goal. Clock moving. Northern does have 1 timeout left. Let's see if they try to throw it or not. Holst is 8 for 10 for 56 yards. Another run. It was a read option. And he smashes it down to the 3. And Northern calls a timeout with 6 seconds left. So they're going to kick a field goal that may or may not be the last play of the half. I'll give you the drive summary in a minute, the box score situation there. It's hard for me to fathom what the halftime price is going to be in this game. I mean, Maryland hasn't had the ball in forever. And Northern gets it to start the second half, too. I mean, I guess Maryland's going to be like 6. I don't know. Game, by the way, closed 16.5 and 44.5, some 45. Total just DOA. Absolutely no chance to get there, barring some wild plays and or turnovers and stuff. Herbert firing again. 7 for 9 now for about $1.15. Conklin again, the receiver. That'll for sure put him over his receiving yards prop. The field goal is good by Northern. That's Andrew Glass. 19 plays, 75 yards. It took 8:37 off the clock. Time of possession, 21:55 to 8:02. 3 ticks left in the half. Maryland 10, Northern Illinois 3. Yardage 134 to 121. Only one penalty for each team. No real threat. Northern 9 first downs to 6. 5 for 12 on third down. 3 for 4 on fourth, which is the big key in this game for them. They've only been 4 possessions, and their drives are punt, downs, and field goal. Maryland had it first. Punt, field goal on a long pass, a punt, and then a touchdown drive. 6 plays, 47 yards. Maryland 0 for 3 on third down. Total plays, Northern 42, Maryland 19. This is about just what the Northern coaching staff has drawn up when you talk about trying to keep yourself in the game and maybe have a chance to pull an upset. You know, just keep it within shouting distance. Don't turn the ball over. Be patient. Run the ball. All those good things. And that's where we're at. Louisville second half is a few minutes away. Not much movement there. 6.5's pretty much painted. 26 under, 26.5 under. Those are numbers that are largely I agree with. Maybe could be a little bit lower, but you know, bottom line, I mean, the game was 56.5, 57. I mean, you can't really go much lower than that no matter what happens. Herbert, run! Please let the play stand. I see a flag. Don't go backwards. No. No. Oh, shoot! God, I would have liked to put that thing to bed in the first quarter. Holding. That's a backup, isn't it? Oh, man. Yeah, even left guard. Damn it. God, he ran for like 20. Oh, that's brutal. That would have did it on its own. He's making guys miss. I love this guy. Man, what a good bet. Ah, that's too bad. He broke another tackle, too. Shit. Don't be scared to keep running the ball, Herbert. We just need one more of those. All right. The best thing about rushing props in the NFL is that once you get the yardage, you don't lose it. I mean, the only time you can lose yards in the NFL, there's no sacks. You don't lose those yards. You lose it on knees. And trust me, I know friends that have lost Super Bowl props on knees from quarterbacks before. That's a tough one. But sacks do count in college, and that's a big deal. It matters, and it's the reason why some of these quarterback rushing yards are way worse than what you'd think from quarterbacks maybe that are a little immobile. The Louisville quarterback, I think, has been sacked a couple of times, and that hurts his rush. Yeah, he's 4 for -7, which means he probably took off once and got 6 was his long. So he took off once and got 6, and then the other 3 -13. All right. Maryland 10, Northern 3. Halftime prices are going to pop 6.5, 7-ish. About what I expect. Total 21 is the first number that I see. That also seems in the ballpark of being correct. The game line closed so much lower that it's tough. I mean, that's one of those things. You got a couple of these totals that were real low this weekend. One of the games is a good example, Rice and Houston. I actually leaned Rice a little bit. I saw them play against ULA. I was pretty impressed last week. Good new coaching staff. They're obviously intent on running the ball, shortening the game. But Houston's laying 14. That number, well, the total's in the 50s, 14, whatever, fine. That total's 39. I think it was 41. It's been bet down to 39. And listen, the lower the total, the more valuable the points are. You know, the more difficult, in theory, it's supposed to be for the favorite to cover those kind of numbers. So, yeah, with the total being 21 and 20.5, you're asking a lot to give Northern Illinois 7 at halftime, especially given the fact that they get the ball first. My only thing keeping me off this thing is the fact that Maryland sort of wore down Florida Atlantic last week after halftime, and they didn't give up anything. I mean, it was just turnover after turnover, whether it be on downs or interceptions. And again, I'm not interested in trying to back Northern Illinois when they're forced to try to make plays. The same thing could easily deteriorate into happening here. Would I be surprised if Northern Illinois is in the game late with a chance to win it? No. Do I want 14 in a game where they were catching more than that? Not really. So it's going to be a pass, even though I did make the game a little bit cheaper, 13, and it closed closer to 16.5, 17. How with my nose itching, sorry. Allergy season here. How's that possible? So, 2 college games are both at the half. I've given you the numbers. I'll run them by you again one more time here. Louisville down is a 16-point favorite. Jimmy Madison 7-6. Price is 6.5 minus money. There is as high as 7 flat out there. There is a rogue 7.5. The dog like 33 at Pinnacle. Total 26 flat, 26 under money. There is a 25 now at Circa. Those numbers are all the same for the most part, or close to it. Chargers second and 25 after the penalty and the loss of yards. Now there's a miscommunication with the receiver, and now you're just going to have to do what you can to settle for 3 unless they're trying to figure out a way to force a defensive penalty. Nothing for me on either one of the college halftimes. Gun to my head, a very slight lean to Louisville. If it was 6, it'd probably be just a very small play. 6.5, I can't get involved. Too many chances of 2-point conversions and things that would make the game fall 6 and Louisville to win by 5. Not a dead number 5 in this game. Total, again, we're in good shape there. 52. I actually got 52.5. They showed it in my face for whatever reason. But for official purposes, 52 and 51. It's sitting 13. So I have 13 points, the best of it. Not interested in trying to get cute. Nothing that I've seen tells me the overs has been remotely right for a second. Doesn't mean it can't change, and I'm not out there sprinting to go under at this number. Other game, there is largely 20.5s on Northern Illinois, Maryland. There is a rogue 21 or 2 with some juice. Chris has 21 under. Dicker the kicker bangs it through. There is a Castigo on the field. Refs are getting their quota full tonight. Lots of ref sightings up there. Been about 5, 6, 7, maybe 7 penalties. Decline. Dicker's their field goal is good. It's 10-0, 13:47 to go in Sao Paulo. Second quarter. Commercials everywhere. No bueno. Not much else to explain here really either. I'll try a little bit. Northwestern is playing Western Illinois on the shores of Lake Michigan, a few miles north of downtown Chicago. 22-0. Wildcats. Totally dominant against Western. This line I made 35. It opened 27.5 this morning. Was quickly bet up to 31.5, 32. Northwestern was punished in New Orleans last week. Big story out of that game. The Tulane coaching staff was saying that they would not allow Tulane to wear white at home in celebration, or sort of in a nod to Katrina, because that was what they wore after Katrina 20 years ago. They wore white in their first home game back. The only reason I could guess behind that is, I don't think the Northern Illinois or the Northwestern coach is a dickhead, but I guess there's a situation with the weather being so hot and humid down there, they probably didn't want to wear purple. That's my only guess. I got nothing other than that. I got nothing else that would constitute a reason behind why they were not allowed to wear their whites. Anyhow, Northwestern turned the ball over a jillion times, couldn't get first downs. It was a total disaster, and they were never competitive. Today's a little different story. It's 22-0. It looks like it might be even worse than that. I'm going to keep an eye on this before I finish it up later when I do my box score work. They got the ball first. It's been touchdown, touchdown, fumble, punt, 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 touchdown. The Western drives punt, INT, punt, 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 and now it's at the half. So they'll get the ball coming out of half. The Western Illinois, the Leathernecks, They trail 22-0 against Northwestern. 277-60 is the total yards in the game. Nothing else noteworthy happening there. Northwestern, yeah, they did lose a fumble. That's the only turnover. And, yeah, 22-0 at the half. Eastern Washington, Boise kick off in a few minutes. That's an FS1 game. That Northwestern and Western Illinois is on the Big Ten alternate channels. Northern Illinois and Maryland's on the Big Ten Network Maine. And Louisville and James Madison, second half, should be kicking any moment. That's on ESPN2. And your NFL game, 10-0. Chargers over KC. That's on YouTube. First game in the history of the league that has been streamed to YouTube. So far, I have no complaints. I fired it up as soon as the feed started, 1 hour before kick, and I've had no issues at all. Knock on, this is a wood desk. Mahomes, complete. This is a gain of about 6. Mahomes, 2 for 7, 29% in the first quarter, lowest since the Super Bowl against the Bucs. I remember that game. I was actually doing the end game for the Westgate. And, you know, the Jeff and Ed both kind of liked the Bucs going in. I had no opinion. I didn't realize that the Kansas City line couldn't block them. It was very similar to what happened with the Philly last game. He was running for his life against the Philly defensive front last time either. Never had a chance. Trips right for the Chiefs. They throw it back to the left, and the receiver tried to run before he had it. Was that Pacheco? So it'll be 3rd and 4. Louisville kicks. Ball's on the tee. The second half is underway as the 16-point favorite Cardinals, who are, I'm sure, receiving votes and picked to finish in the top half, if not the top 4 or so of the ACC, are losing to Sunbelt foe James Madison. To be fair, again, the James Madison touchdown I thought was off a really cheap penalty for Louisville. It was a 39-yard drive that took seemingly an hour. No big plays. Chiefs have it at their own 40, 3rd and 4. Trips left again. Mahomes, they're trying to send motion everywhere to see where the coverage is. Really nice play. Thornton makes the catch, but he's leveled shy of the marker. The line judge spots it about a yard short. I'm guessing they'll probably go for it, but as hard as things have been for the Chiefs here early, nothing's been easy. These pre-snap motions the Chiefs have made so popular over the years, all it's doing is just a cheat code to help figure out what the coverage is. I'll be interested to see if teams have done a better job, if there is a way to possibly disguise when you're in man compared to when you're in zone. I mean, it's real simple. When there's motion and you see the guy go with the guy, that means they're in man. If they don't, that means they're passing it off to somebody else. This is going to be a run, and he does get it. I thought for a minute they were going to stack him up in the backfield. But no. So let's focus on that game for the most part, now that the second halves are already going in Louisville and it's halftime in Maryland. Again, I have no opinion on the second half of either one of those games. I'll keep an eye on Louisville for a bit just to make sure nothing pops on the live market. But with the 2 underplays in pocket, there's really not much else to sit there and think about possibly wanting in that game. Oh, wow. James Madison threw it for first down, a coverage bust for Louisville, 20-yard gain. And they're out to the 45, less than a minute into the second half. Just as I mentioned, they couldn't do anything. And the corner's not even paying attention, and then he falls down. That will surely be addressed in the film room. I wonder if that was a call or if he just checked to it. Good alertness, though, by the quarterback for Jimmy Madison. Play fake, drops back, chucks it into it. Looks like it might have been intercepted. No, incomplete. Barnett's the passing quarterback for them. He's 9 for 14 for 53 yards. Chiefs, 10 minutes to go before halftime. They're into San Diego territory again. That's a first down pass by Mahomes on 2nd and 3. Brown, the receiver. They're now at the outstretched. What do you call it? They're in the. They're close to field goal range at the very least, if not in it. They're in the outer ranges of field goal range. Quentin Johnson scored the first touchdown. Somewhere here, I know I have a sheet to see what the price was on that. I'm guessing it was probably pretty healthy price. Of course, I got the first one that I'm looking at. It's the stupid Cowboy game. Son of a bitch. What a hell of a game that was last night, huh? Dallas could have made things really interesting in the survivor pools. Had they knocked Philly out, there would have been a ton of dead money in the circle one especially. Could have re-upped before tonight and got back in. Added to the pool. You can be for sure there's a lot of people that were interested in doing that. 3rd and 6 for the Dukes. Chuck it downfield, and they're going to draw a flag. I don't like that. The defensive back was kind of slow to find his awareness of where the ball was. It wasn't ever going to be caught. Holloway penalty, and the Dukes will have it now. It'll be a 15-yard penalty, so they'll have it at the Louisville 36. In their first drive of the half, they looked to tack on to the lead. Third and 1 for the Chiefs. Uh-oh, bad snap. Mahomes chucks it. Oh, he gets it away, and it's a catch. Oh, but not a first down. Stopped him before he got any forward motion. The San Diego defense has been really, really impressive here. They're crowding the line of scrimmage. They're basically daring Chiefs to try to do something downfield, but they don't have enough time. This time it was a bad snap. I mean, Mahomes shows his greatness there just by getting rid of it. I mean, Brown caught it, and he was ready for it, but 4th and 1 for Kansas City, and it looks like they might even call timeout here. Mahomes is walking off the field. Yeah, he's going to go over and discuss it with Andy Reid. 4th and 1, 8:45 to go before the half. Live price, Chargers favored between 3.5, 3 minus a bunch of money. The total is 44, give or take. And it looks like my YouTube feed's faster than most because I don't see any lines up in town anywhere else yet. So I guess I'll give credit to my YouTube, my TV, for letting me stream fast. That seems weird. It seems like most of the NFL games I'm always on delay. Jesse Minter calling plays for the Clipper defense. Jimmy Madison, 1st and 15. Now they got to run. That's Adayi, and he gets 4, so it'll be 2nd and 11. They are in Louisville territory. KC with just a nice dump off, not really anything there. Mahomes takes what you give him. Chiefs move the sticks. Clock moving. That just, yeah, they lined up with everybody big and play fake it to the back and let him get out in space. And Hunt does so. And they move the sticks. Down to the 26. 2 receivers wide to each side. Running back into the left of the shotgun. Mahomes back. He's running for his life, and this time there's no one really near him. Oh my God, he's going to get killed. 43 was late, but he was a heat-seeking missile. There's also a flag on this play. And it looks like Mahomes even knew it was a hold. He almost stopped. He was looking like he was running, and then he knew that it was going to come back, so he didn't even try. I'd like to see the replay there. No, he didn't know. It was way behind the play. God, he's going to get himself killed. Man, these Chargers, this is a ferocious effort. I've been really impressed by this defense. Although there could be something to be said for game 1 unders. I mean, that's what happens a lot of times. I know in college last week that's what happened. In the NFL, you think with all this prep time, it's not going to be an issue. And certainly there were 41 points scored in the first half last night, but Chiefs haven't done much here. So now 1st and 20 becomes 2nd and 4. Juju Smith-Schuster gets involved again. All right, so Jimmy Madison completes a long pass. That's 19 yards from Barnett down to Denegaro. And Now Alonzo doing his job with his legs. Usually Slick is the running quarterback. He gets about 7. And Jimmy Madison will now have 2nd and 3. That's going to be inside the Louisville 10. So this first drive of the half, they're really trying to assert themselves here. KC now has a goal-to-go situation. Pacheco bangs it down to the 9. This has been their best drive of the night. Matter of fact, it might be the only one with multiple first downs. Wow. And so Sluka keeps it. And I mean, I've been sitting here talking the whole night to Louisville. I mean, if you'd have told me that guy would have 7 carries, 24 yards, and a touchdown now, I would have been shocked I would have thought that Jimmy Madison would have given up trying to let him even do anything with his legs. I cannot believe that Louisville hasn't been cognizant of the fact that he's not going to be throwing the ball. Just a shameful effort by U of L in game prep before this game. 9 plays, 75 yards, 4:50 off the clock. Horrible for the under when you got the 16-point favorite now losing 14-6. Let's hope they continue to play slow, but I don't know how much longer given the game status. 10-10 to go. And the Cards are up against it here as a big favorite against Jimmy Madison at home. Now the one thing that I'm worried about that I thought was never going to be an issue going under 51 and 52 was overtime. If somehow, some way this game gets to 14-all, then who knows? And even with the big point spread, that clearly hasn't mattered to this point. James Madison has shown they belong in this game, and they're going to for sure get the money. Now it becomes whether they win or not. Live price is basically a pick flat and 42.5. Nothing happened in Northern Illinois, Maryland halftime. 10-3 Turtles. 6.5, 20.5 painted. All the 21s are gone. Mahomes, 3rd and goal, rolls out. They got him. They got him. They got him. Back at the 18. I don't know whether he's less mobile or whether the San Diego defense is just that fast. I mean, I've been really impressed with them. They've been flying around. You think in the first game that, again, the quarterback is never going to be in better shape than he is now in terms of his physical health, but he looks a step slower. These division teams have so much film on this guy also, and now you got Harbaugh in his 2nd year, so he has 2 full games of tape as well. 35-yard field goal by Bucker is good. And the Chiefs are on the board. 4:50 to go until the half. Chargers 10, Kansas City 3. Live price, a little higher than I thought it would be, to be honest with the total. L.A. Chargers, I can't call them that. Chargers 4 and 43. I think under 43 is a good look. Assuming there's one more field goal before halftime, which I'm not going to assume anything, but if that's all they get, that's only 16. The second half total is not going to be as high as 26 or 27. If they don't get anything, then it's certainly you have all the edge. Now you're going under 30. Say they score a touchdown. That's 10-3, so 10-10. Now you're going under 23, under 19. And overtime's in play. I don't know. It becomes tough. You're basically betting on whether there'll be a field goal. And if there is a field goal or no points, then under's right. If there's a touchdown, then you're a small dog. With 4:50 to go, obviously there's a chance of multiple scores. I don't see it. Like, there's no urgency. The teams are playing slow, taking their time. There hasn't really been much hurry up at all. There haven't been that many drives. The second quarter, the Chiefs just had the ball 8:54, 17 plays, 67 yards, 854. That comes after the Chargers had the ball for 11 plays, 437. Punt, 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 touchdown, punt, field goal, touchdown, or field goal. I don't know. We'll see. All right, Louisville ball, 14-6, they trail. $10-10 to go. Looking to try to establish the run here. Brown runs it for 7. This is Isaac Brown. There's 2 of them, I'm aware. He's their bell cow back. Louisville averaged 5.7 yards per carry last season. Tonight, 1.6. Again, that stat is distorted somewhat by the quarterback losing some yardage. It's -4 for -7. But still, 20 for 26 is hardly impressive. Looks like Brown's carry for 2 yards going to be 3rd and short for the Cards. Clock running at 9 minutes. Northern Illinois punted in Maryland 2 minutes into the second half. 10-3 Terps. They'll take over. Around the 30, I think. And the Chargers start their next drive with inside of 5 minutes to go at the 35, 10-3. Going to try to bang out some runs here. Watson gets 2 and a first down for Cards. They move the sticks out to the 37. 36, let's call it. Oh, slant. Bell. He gone. He gone. Moss hit him. It was man coverage. The safety had been out of position. And that was Bell's 10th target and his 4th catch. After 19 yards on the first 3, this one goes for 64. Louisville slices the lead to 14-12, and they will probably go for 2. Four play, 75 yards, 93 seconds. That will put my total on alert. Good thing we have some points to work with here because this is happening far too quickly. Moss rolls. God, get his ass. You got to be shitting me with this. He took a punishment, but he did clear the goal line, and the 2-point conversion, which was supposed to be a pass, ends up being Moss getting there with his legs. 14-all, 8:37 to go, and these teams have already eclipsed their first half output in less than 6.5 minutes. 14-all. New price. These numbers are sickening. I see a 6.5 for Louisville. I see a 4.5 and a 3.5. So you got all kinds of ARB options if you have outs both in town. Circa's got the 6.5. Chris Pinnacle 4.5, 3.5. A couple other ones that are between those two. 49 on the total, pretty much painted. Can't argue with that at all. It's about the right price. All right. Maryland out near midfield, second, 10-11-49 to go. Nothing doing on the ground. There is a flag. 2:54 before the half, 2nd and 11 for the Chargers. Play fake. Herbert all day. Zings one downfield, and it's complete to the 35, close to the 30. That's Ladd McConkey. With the receivers like Allen and McConkey, if you let Herbert just sit, Justin Herbert, just sit back there and stand for 5-6 seconds, you don't have a chance. Chiefs only rushed 4. They dropped everybody back in zone. I mean, that's just the pitch and catch. You literally just find the spot and get there. Spagnuolo is going to have to consider sending some people going forward. He has now 4 catches for 49 yards, which shows how little of this game I've watched because I only saw that one. They're already in field goal range. We're at the 2-minute timeout. 10-3. Chargers. Live price fluctuating between 6.5 flat, 6 minus a ton, 7 dog money. Total 43-ish. A slight lean to under. And they do get it at halftime. Curious to see how they play this. They don't want to get super aggressive. Anything that they can do to keep Mahomes from getting the ball first and trying to double bang him out of the break. Any score here, even 3, would be better than, you know, a touchdown and then letting Kansas City score before half. You want to get 3 and then make sure they don't get the ball. Boise's on the board. I do not have that game on television. I was too lazy to turn on a 5th TV. No chats. Feel free to chime in. I see I have a few people watching. Feel free to check in, ask questions. As the tagline said before I went live, talk about tonight's games. Talk about whatever sports, tennis. You got all the international soccer with the World Cup qualifiers. Although there's really not a whole lot going on. I guess Costa Rica plays at Nicaragua tonight. That goes in about another hour. In CONCACAF qualifying, their final round just started. Obviously, Mexico, Canada, and the U.S. are already all in. Starts next summer. But Boise scores less than 5 minutes in. They lead Eastern Washington 6-0. Maryland on the move, trying to create some separation from Northern Illinois. They hadn't had the ball. When you count Northern Illinois' last drive in the halftime, they probably didn't have the ball for like 47 to 50 minutes of real time. Good on them to come right back out when they get it and actually do something with it. Washington's pass is complete, and it's going to be first down at about the 11. Maryland now trips right, snap it from the left hash, run the ball again, get nothing. All right, let's see what the Padres can do here before the half. If they can find a way to ram this thing in and go up 17-3 with the ball, they'd be in really good shape. Left hash, Herbert, shotgun. Trips right, running back offset left. Drops back all day, throws it over McConkey's head. God, I wish he would have tucked that and ran it. Damn it. Of course, I'm biased with my thought process there, given the fact that I need him to get a few more rushing yards. Yeah, he's only got 1 for 6 still. But that penalty they were wiped off would have got the whole thing. It was a 20-yard carry. But I mean, I handicapped it perfect. I mean, the Chiefs are dropping guys out. They're playing zone. They're basically daring him to try to run it. He could have that time. 2nd and 10 at the 32. Once again, shotgun. 2 to each side. Drops back. They're only rushed 4 again. This time he's going to take off. Go, 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 go. Drag him down. He gets maybe 3 only. All right, I'll take it. So it'll be, that's 9 yards rushing, it's 2 for 9. That's my prop sweat for those who weren't here earlier. We have over everything up to 17. 17 is the last number. Please don't call that a slide. He clearly went forward. Oh man, they might spot that back at like the 28. No, they gave him 4. Okay. Good. I'll take it. Okay, 1:48 to go. The timeout was called, I believe, by the Chiefs there. There's commercials everywhere. Jimmy Madison has 3rd and 10 at their own 25. Louisville called the timeout here. I don't know what happened. They got a 6-yard gain, and then Barnett had a keeper that shows him losing 6. I don't know if that was a sack or not. I don't think so. So 3rd and 10, Barnett's still in the game now. 7:46 to go. Louisville crowd trying to get into it after the last drive that resulted in a touchdown, the tying 2-point conversion. Chargers 148 before the break. I'll focus on that one more based on what we're going to do at halftime and possible live. Herbert snaps it. Keenan Allen on a quick slant. Kansas City defense gave him way too much room. Cushion was there. Good read. Herbert zings it in, first down. There's trips right. Just a basic concept where you had the receivers doing one of these things. Allen was the outside guy coming in. The other guy was getting it out, and Louisville's defense is going garbanzos. I'm going to guess it was a turnover. Let me see. Barnett. They did blitz this time. They sent one extra guy. Tipped. I think it hit the ground. They're going to call it an interception on the field. Previous plays under review. If it stands, Louisville will have it at the Jimmy Madison 28. Let's hope it doesn't stand. I still don't think Louisville's points are coming easy. That touchdown the last drive was just kind of a busted coverage. He caught it and ran forever. Looks like there are 11 cameras at this Louisville game, according to the Game Day Operations Center in Charlotte. 203 yards to 92 for LAC over the KCYs. Incomplete pass. Excellent. Punt it away, boys. 14 all. Under still seems right. Total. Let's wait a second. Let's wait for the punt. You got a Castigo up here in the Chargers. I don't know what happened. Castigo, Spanish for flag. Panuela also works. My time in Costa Rica, I was able to learn some interesting words that have nothing to do with the actual society that you live in and the language that you talk to people on a daily basis, only the words that you use in sports betting. Shouldn't say that, that's fake news. I learned more words than that. Consider myself capable of having to carry on a conversation if need be. Also helps that my situationship with the Colombian girl didn't speak any English. It means that I had to learn more than I wanted to if I wanted to actually have a conversation with her. We got a delay game on Diego here. Carl Cheffers seems all too happy to talk to the fans and the YouTube TV audience. Penalty declined. So what's happening now? I guess that was a clock runoff? Who knows? 59 seconds at the 24. Motion. 2nd and 11. Herbert back. Going to run again. No, he chucks it. Incomplete. Damn it, I wish he would have ran. Thought he had a little bit of space. He wants to keep running. The worrisome thing is the Chiefs, since that one big play that Finley called back, they've sort of done a good job of keeping at least somebody to keep somewhat of an eye on him. I don't know if he could have got out of that mess or not. Watching the replay from that all-22 angles, much easier to see it. Looks like he was kind of losing the ball. He had no choice but to throw it because he didn't have full control over it. Otherwise, he might have been able to run it. Maryland settles for a field goal against Northern. Keep 3:15, 3:16, then Adelaide 13-3. 8 minutes and 8 seconds into the third quarter. Herbert, this is going to be a run, 3rd and forever. And it goes out of bounds, which is an absolute no-no with the Chiefs not having any timeouts. Omarion Hampton, the rookie out of North Carolina, makes a really stupid play there for them. And now you're going to give Mahomes time no matter what. 49 seconds minus the time for the field goal. And Harbaugh is furious, as he should be. That's just a play you cannot make, and the running back coach is letting him know about it right now. Now here's Harbaugh right in his ass. Should be. You cannot let that happen. Worst thing there, you get points, but you leave time on the clock for this guy to do something. And their offense has been totally inept also. Dicker makes the field goal from 36, and it's 13-3, but that should have been the last play of the half. Absolutely unacceptable. Live price, 5.5, 40.5. Yeah, he's right. I mean, that's the right reaction. It's really it's a shame because they've really done about everything right. There have been a few penalties that called, the Herbert big run got wiped out, but they've done so many things well this half, and especially on defense. And now you're going to give this guy the ball, the chance to do something before halftime, and they really have no momentum. And the Clippers get the ball first to start the second half. I mean, how you possibly give this guy the ball with a chance to create any sort of momentum is just not acceptable. And you could be for sure he's thinking if he can get 3 here, he's stealing something, and he is. 5.5 painted. A couple places there's some 6.5 dog money out there with Chargers the favorite. In pregame line was 3, 47.5 Kansas City the favorite. Live total now 41.5 under money. There are some 40.5 flats. Significant difference between those two numbers if the score was a little different. 41 is almost always a key number. With the game sitting 16, perhaps not so much so. Louisville starts the drive at their own 38 after the punt. Each team had a 75-yard to start this drive to start this half after first half total yardage of about 150 combined. So much too fast. Now the Jimmy Madison drive on that, by the way, only lasted like a minute. So this game is turning in a wrong direction for me with my unders. Still in okay shape now with plenty of room to play with based on the entirety of what happened after the first James Madison touchdown. But slow it down, please. Under 7 minutes to go. Moss drops back, rolls right, fires out of bounds. YouTube was very happy about Omarion's decision to run out of bounds. They're able to jam in a few commercials here before the kickoff. Those shouldn't have happened. This game should be at halftime. They'd be jamming them in now. Fogging them in. Milwaukee's beating Pittsburgh in the baseball. That is no good. Tried some Oviedo against Priester tonight. Got a great number. Plus 35 is a loser. I can run some baseball scores down. I probably will after this half. Probably won't stick around much longer after this half. In Sao Paulo, I mean. Kickoff is short of the end zone. They'll have to bring it out to the 25, 27, 28. There is some clock that will run on all that. Chiefs will have, Telly Johnson Jr., touchdown for Northern. And they have now sliced the Maryland lead to 13-9, point pending, 6:22 to go. Marshawn Lynch having a discussion with somebody on the San Diego benches is funny. What could he possibly be talking about? 40 seconds to go, 29-yard line for the Chiefs. Let's see how aggressive they get and how aggressive the San Diego defense. 4-3, zones everywhere, long pass, complete. And they're already in field goal range. Clock continues to move. There are no timeouts. Just a straight flag pattern by Mahomes. If you're going to drop all those guys back in coverage, at least you got to make sure that you don't let somebody get behind you. 21 seconds now. Chiefs down to the 32. I believe they got more yardage on that one play than they have had in the whole half. That is just a colossal blunder. I mean, I can't. It's going to go down. It's maybe if they get a touchdown here for sure. And this Thornton's really tearing them a new ass. He's been their best player by far on offense this half. It's going to go down as the biggest play of the game to this point. Just because of what the situation should be. Any of these points that Kansas City gets out of this is a bonus that they should not be scoring any points. Mahomes is 11 for 19 of 96. Oh! 26 jumped the route. Man, you got to be kidding me. Belly popped out. Sorry for that. You got to be kidding me with this. Oh, man, I need to see the replay. .17 left, 3rd and 10. They did spike it to lose it down here. So now they won't show the replay until halftime. Or, well, I won't see it till later. Trips left. Mahomes will snap it from the right hash. The right tackle false started, and they called it. That'll knock them back 5. And that puts them in the very, very outstretched. That's Taylor. The outskirts of field goal range at this point. Butker's got a good leg. I shouldn't say that. I know it was raining a little bit ago. It looks like not a heavy rain. Jimmy Madison starts at their own 5 here. I guess Louisville punted. 6 minutes to go in the 3rd. That works for me. Let's run the clock for a little while. Let's get the game off a tie a little later. We got plenty of time to work with. 17 seconds, 3rd and 15 at the 38. There's another false start on the Chiefs. So it was the right tackle the play before, and this time it's the left tackle. This is just very un-Chiefs-like. Now, this is a rookie kid out of Ohio State. He's going to be a good one at some point, but wow. These are just mistakes that Kansas City has not made. Really, if you want to go back since Reed's been there, I mean, all the way back to the Alex Smith days, they didn't make these kind of mistakes. This guy's one of the best coaches in the history of the league. 3rd and 21 now, 17 seconds. Back to the 44. This is just enough to get a field goal. And they're going to have to rush. This is only a 3-yard game. He did not get out of bounds. They're going to spot it. Clock down to 8:76. It's on the 40. This is going to be from the 49. 2 seconds down, up, 59-yarder. Man, that's fucking impressive. It's good at the horn, and the Chiefs do get their first points, or their second points of the game. 59-yard field goal by Butker is good at the gun. And the execution there by the Chiefs, I'll call it subpar, C at best, maybe C minus. But again, more importantly, you gave them 3 points because of what you did with the mental error by the running back going out of bounds. I mean, the play call was good. I mean, it's basically you have to tell the motherfucker, like, listen, whatever you do not go out of bounds. Like, the yardage is irrelevant. It's a chip shot, 39-yard field goal. Any yardage he gained was not important. So yeah, that was just a really stupid play. Chiefs are out of timeouts. They could have ran the clock down to like 8 seconds left. Just inexplicable. Northern Illinois, to clean up the mess up there in College Park, they did score. They went for 2. It was unsuccessful. And we'll give you a halftime price just a minute in Sao Paulo. Yeah, they're going to show the replay of this kid for the Chargers run out of bounds. He's a really good running back, and he has great potential, but that play made no sense. And look, that's the Kansas City that we know and love. Great catches the pass. Everybody comes in that needs to come in. Everybody comes out that needs to come out. Gets it down. 2 seconds or a second to spare and bangs it right through. And that was he nutted that thing. I mean, from 59 and it went into the net. I mean, that was certainly I shouldn't. Whatever I said about being on the outskirts of his field goal range, I'm fake news because that was nowhere near anything of outskirts. I mean, he had that thing from like 65. The Johnson touchdown run, by the way, for Northern was a 74-yarder. So 3 plays, 73 yards, 125. 13-9 Maryland leads. They're in a dogfight as a 16.5-point favorite with a total of 45 pregame. 13-9 now live price with Maryland on 3rd and 1. And they get it. Washington, let's see. So first down Maryland. Live price is roughly 7.5. Total is in the mid-30s. Yeah. First down's Maryland 11-10. They're out now at their own 37. Jimmy Madison and Louisville, the Dukes have gotten out of the shadow of their own end zone. They started this drive at the 5. 3 minutes to go, they're at their own 28. 2nd and 8. Sluka in. Sluka running. He's not going to throw. Can't throw. He's absolute fucking terrible at throwing. I said that in a much nicer tone about 2 hours ago. They get him after a yard loss or so. they did bring pressure that time, to be fair, which is what you have to do when that guy's in the game. Halftime line is coming, and it's coming about what I expected. I thought Chiefs 3, maybe 3 minus money, and the total 24 flat, 24 over 15. Looks like 3.5 flat and 24 under 15. So at 13-6, Chargers lead, and they get the ball first. I thought that we may see the line a little bit lower, the total a smidge higher. We'll see how it breaks out. So far, no real movement, but again, the line seems to be pretty universal in how it's coming up. Not a lot of dissent. No one's being different. So at this point, don't expect a whole lot. Let's see what happens. Northwestern has kicked the field goal. They lead Western Illinois 25-0. Boise up 13-0, 4 minutes to go in the first quarter against Eastern Washington. Maryland 3rd and 9, 4 minutes to go in the third. They're throwing from their own 39. Washington drops back, rolls right, throws it out of bounds. May have stepped out of bounds for an accidental sack. Now we got a little skirmish between Northern Illinois' defensive captain and one of the offensive linemen for the Terps. Northern won at Notre Dame last year. They're trying to win at Maryland this year. Yeah, I think he's out of bounds. They didn't call it. Oh, 3rd and 11, and James Madison breaks free, and this guy, he might be all the way gone. Oh, thank God they're showing highlights in the other game. I'm about to lose my shit. What's going on here? You got a red team and a white team, just like we did in the Louisville game. Although the white for Northern Illinois is with black and not purple. Okay, I should have took a nap today. Clearly, I'm not on my A game. Have to be tomorrow for sure. It's a long day. Surely it can't go worse. My contest work in the Westgate College contest last week. Remember, I told you if you guys watch on Thursday, the results were tremendous. Western Michigan with a backdoor cover that I had no business getting involved with. That was a bet and not a contest play. And then Friday, the whole world, unfortunately, full of people that were sharp and pseudo-sharp, myself included, on Baylor against Auburn. Never the right side. Totally incorrect. Loser. And was there another Friday game? I'm trying to think. I got the list somewhere. I was going to set it on fire, but I didn't want to burn the condo down. Yeah, as a list of games that I had either written down to get involved with, or we ended up getting involved with. Now I can't find my reading glasses. Being an old man sucks. Where did I put them? I can see without them if I really focus. Kentucky was on the list. Didn't use them in the contest. They didn't get. Oh, yeah, I did. They didn't get there against Toledo. Backdoored. Southern Miss not good enough against Mississippi State, and that was one that I'm with two partners with various different entries, and they both had. We all had Southern Miss. That was the one where we all matched on and lost. All three entries and all losers. Georgia State against Ole Miss. I didn't know that one of the Georgia State kids was a psycho and going to steal a kid's chain and throw it in the stands, resulting in Lane Kiffin playing his starters into the fourth quarter and putting up 70-something points. Oregon State against Cal. I also didn't know that the Cal kid, the quarterback, was going to be the next coming of, I don't know, insert left-handed quarterback who's a stud name here. He's better than any lefty I've seen in the last 10 years. As a true freshman, and just torched Oregon State. I guess I have to readjust Cal's number. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do in the next game. I think they play a 1AA this week, and if they win comfortably, I'm gonna have to make a pretty significant adjustment there because that kid looks like he's got all the goods. Let's see what else. Yeah, Baylor, Ball State. That was comical. Plus 17.5 against Purdue. They X to 0. They still might not score if they're playing now. Hawaii against Arizona was never in it. Some of these were contest plays. Some of these were actual bets. We had some second half losers as well. Georgia Southern against Fresno. They had the ball first coming into half. They punted. Then it goes out of half. Punt. And then you go touchdown, punt, touchdown, punt, touchdown, punt, touchdown. So 28-0 into the middle of the fourth quarter. Important to know here, the Chiefs down only 7 at halftime. They lost their best receiver on the third play of the game. 7 penalties for 48 yards, and they're 0 for 7 on third downs. Somehow, down 7 because of the running back for the Chargers basically gifted them 3. I'm not going to let that go because you just can't give this team chances. You just cannot give them life when they don't have it. I don't know how if there's anything that you should have figured out by now after watching Mahomes for the last 7 years, that's the thing. Yeah, and I have no opinion. Again, the live price, anything less than 24 in my mind is too low, and I would lean over. But I'm not just sprinting to the window to try to go over. Clearly, the Chargers are satisfied by playing a kind of a slow pace and kind of a, they're content as long as they're ahead. They're not going to make the game. They're going to try to extend they're not going to extend the game with more plays. They're going to try to slow down the game and make it less plays. I mean, that's what makes sense. I mean, why would you want to give this guy more time when he's getting beat? So Maryland had first down and goal or close to it. Washington breaks a tackle, but he drops the ball on the ground before he goes down. And I think Northern Illinois gets it. Yeah. So 1:24 to go in the third, and that's the first mistake for Maryland. And those are the kind of plays that you just can't make when you're the better team and you're here and you're moving it some and up, but you give up a big play to them, 75-yard run, after them getting nothing really except for the one long drive that's resulted in a field goal late in the first half. Now you're in a dogfight. Now the other team has confidence, and then you help them out with the turnover. So the new live price with 1:24 to go in the third is Maryland 7 and 32.5 is the total with some underjuice. I think Maryland -7 is absurd. Like at this point, with the other team having the ball down by 4, the game price was 16.5. That's what they predicate that on. But everything's coming hard for Maryland. They're not just they're moving it some, but they're not just up and down the field in big explosive plays, which is what you really would ideally want if you're trying to lay a bunch of trying to lay points. I mean, they're up 4. They're trying to make them lay 7 in a game where there's only 17 or 18 minutes left, and they only had the ball. So I don't see it. I would only have Northern Illinois. I have to do a better job of not even looking at Twitter when these streams are going on. Part of me has to have it up because I need to know what's going on if there's something that happens where I can't lip read the ref, if there's a penalty, if there's an injury. But if I get caught going down a rabbit hole, gambling Twitter and other things Twitter, I'll ignore you guys, and that'll be the start of my demise. I see no chats. I'm not going to stick around a whole lot longer tonight. I don't know how much longer this halftime show is supposed to go. This isn't the Super Bowl, but they got some chick with the pineapple bikini out there dancing with a bunch of other girls wearing San Diego Padres colors. They're dancing with her. I'm guessing it's a Brazilian artist that maybe speaks English. I don't know. I have no clue. Given the Chiefs are playing, I'm surprised they didn't find Taylor Swift to have her do this thing. The 24s are all gone. Halftime price 23.5. There is one of those, and now it's 23 over 15. I'm really surprised. I can't justify over, but I could never have under. Not at this level, given how bad the Chiefs were on offense. They haven't converted one time on third down, and the score is still sitting 19. I just don't see it. All right, so we're into the fourth quarter in Louisville. 14-all. Jimmy Madison and the Cardinals. The Dukes have it back after Louisville got a couple of first downs and got out of their bad territory. 14:51 to go. The live price there, Louisville the favorite, roughly 3. Total 41-ish and some under. And they have it first down at their own 8. Sluka 10 carries for 34 yards and Louisville 24 for 30. That is fucking embarrassing. I mean, there's no other way to sugarcoat that. I mean, I don't care how good James Madison's supposed to be defending the run. That's not acceptable. 24 for 30. Look, Sluka has more yards rushing than Louisville's team. You could have knocked me over with a feather if you'd have told me into the fourth quarter that would be a stat. And I also would have told you there's a really good chance that James Madison's in the game, or not, if not winning it. I couldn't have seen any scenario based on what I know about James Madison's defense that you tell me they're stopping the run to think that Louisville's suddenly going to throw the ball for 1,000,000 yards. Miller Moss is not that guy. He's just not. Sluka, again, fake, like he's going to throw it because he can't throw it. He stinks. Brings it down and loses a couple yards. So Sluka gets 7, and then he gets tackled for no gain. I guess they gave him the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 3. Barnett comes back in. Now you know they're going to throw it, or at least run it, but it's not going to be a quarterback run, most likely. Reds losing the match. You can kiss their playoff chances goodbye. They needed a sweep this weekend to have a chance. This is going to have to be a hold. The quarterback went left. The pass was complete by Barnett, but there was all kinds of trouble up front. Louisville had 2 guys that clearly beat their men. Barnett's complaining. That's going to be a hold. That's going to knock them back half the distance to the goal. It'll be 3rd and 10. At the 8th. Trips right. Barnett, shotgun, running back set left. Barnett back. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Barnett fumbles, sacked in the end zone. Louisville gets it. That's just what I told you I do not need. Defense and special teams touchdowns are going to only be the only thing that possibly ruins this thing. That in conjunction with overtime. Lubin forced it. AJ Green fell on it in the end zone. 13:05 to go. Cardinals 20. James Madison 14. Louisville defense steps up and makes the play of the game. Let's cool it with the scoring. I realize we got a long way, still 3 scores plus to beat me, but enough's enough. Fire! Fire! Don't know what happened there. It looks like it might have been a bad snap. And Ranvier picked it up, but nothing doing there. And the conversion is no good. Puts it on 6. Very good for us. What's the penalty? Personal foul, Louisville. So Jimmy Madison's going to get the 15 yards, I guess, from the kickoff. So they're going to get really good field position. And Louisville's going to kick off from their own 20. So they lead 20-14 after the defensive touchdown. Look at this, 181 yards to 148. And somehow there have been now 34 points scored in this game. 20-14 Louisville. Live price. Cards are now laying 6.5 dog a bunch. You start getting to this point of the game where there's 13 minutes to go and everything gets a little bit more precarious. Total is 44. Over 44 under. There's all kinds of shit. The ball's about to go on the tee in the football game in Brazil. Chiefs still 3.5 dog money. Total 23 over money. 23.5 under a little bit. The only 124 is the Pinnacle, 24 under 24. So plus money over 24. With it sitting 19. 24 is generally a very live second half price, but it doesn't have to be in this situation. Chargers get the ball first. It would be nice if Herbert collects a 10-yard run to start this drive, and then we stop sweating that. This will just about do it for me. I don't see anything else live that's worth it. The Louisville game, again, I'm not interested in a whole lot at this point. 13 minutes ago, it just becomes something to sweat from here on out with the under positions of 52 and 51 for a total of 2.5 units. And Maryland leads Northern Illinois 13-9. I don't know, there was something happening there. It looked like Maryland's going to have great field position, but I guess not. Yeah, Northern punted, it looks like. Yeah, intentional grounding, but it wasn't in the end zone. So they punted from the 1 out to the 41. And now it's a 43, I guess. They lost 2 on the return. So now it's 3rd and 8 for Maryland at the 41 of Northern after they started at the 43. So they have great field position here. They're up 13-9. The fourth quarter's underway. Maryland laying 7 minus a ton, and the total is 32 under. I don't know why 7 minus a ton for him. What world do they have to score a touchdown here? Even kicking a field goal is not given. I have a few thoughts. I get caught in the Twitter rabbit hole again, which is dangerous for everybody's health, myself included. I'm going to have to stay off Twitter tonight. I just read a couple of things that have borderline enraged me. Okay, so the ball's on the tee in Brazil. Finally, the second half starts, borderline similar to what the Super Bowl was. That's got to be an advantage for the Chiefs, right? They're the ones that play in all these Super Bowls. They're used to these long half times. Chargers out to the 28. That's where they'll start. 14:55 to go. Third quarter, 13-6 Chargers. That game is on YouTube. Louisville kicks off 13 minutes to go. ESPN2 against James Madison. If you want to watch that one, you're free to do it without me the rest of the way. The penalty helps the kickoff. And field position for James Madison. They're out past the 40 to start this drive. 3 drives for James Madison since the touchdown. Punt, fumble. Total of 13 plays, 19 yards. That's more like it. Sluka is out. I guess they're going to think they have to throw it now. I prefer Sluka to be in because he might run for a few. There's no big plays, and the clock continues to run with him in. Maryland punts. Incredible they had it where they did, and they punted into the end zone. So Northern Illinois, after being pinned inside the 5, getting nothing. And really, like I say, the live price reflected that Maryland was a huge favorite to score. Now the live price is back to 4.5. I think I like Northern Illinois at 4.5 if they're going to start the ball at the 25. James Madison out to 38 is where they start this drive. Actually, they run it for about 6, maybe 7 up the middle. Clock running inside of 13 minutes. And the Chargers got 1 on first down. Wide receivers, trips, 2 to each side. Running back into block, throws it left, nothing there. Chiefs did send a guy. So Spagnuolo, after not blitzing the first half at all, which is very par for the course for him, is now going to try to send some guys and show some different looks to Herbert. Let's see how the Chargers adjust. You won't see it with me. My night is over. I will be around tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. I'll have all my TV set. My iced tea in front of me here. I'll try to take as few breaks as possible. It will be a long day. Thanks for checking in. If anybody has any questions, do it in the next 2 minutes. Otherwise, I'm out of here. I can run back the score. Hang on. Herbert. Oh, he tries to drop a gem in. It's incomplete, but there is a flag. Maybe he thought he had a free play there. He's still on the field. He's not walking off. Nope, it's a hold against the Chargers. They'll have to punt. Not a good start. And it seems like the Chiefs have wrested momentum from the Chargers when you take the running back going out of bounds, which was about the dumbest play I've seen in a while, and told you they were going to probably get something out of it after having no momentum. End up running the whole team off the field, getting Butker out there, kicking the 59-yarder all in a less than 10 seconds span. And, knocking that kick through gives you a little bit of momentum. And then when you get a stop on a 3-and-out to start the second half, the Chiefs are really one drive away from tying the game up, and they have not even been in the game. I mean, one of their best receivers has been out, and since the third play, and they 0 for on third downs, and they have penalties. I mean, it's just been they have been outplayed. But so far it's the same shit as what happened last year. Okay, so they're going to take a commercial 1 minute into the second half. The Chiefs are starting from about their own 30, I think. James Madison's into Louisville territory, first down by 6 with 10 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Clock moving. I see no questions. I appreciate those who hung out with me for a little bit on and off tonight. Northwestern 28-0, Boise 28-0. Those will not be close. The other 3 games are all close. Maryland 13-9 in the fourth quarter. Louisville 20-14 over James Madison with 10 minutes and change to go. Chargers 13-6, second half underway. There's not going to be anything that I see in any of these games that are going to encourage me to get involved live. If it happens for whatever reason, I will put something in the chat, but I don't expect you guys to hang out for that, so I probably won't do that now that I think about it. 2 plays under 52 for 1.5 units made it 9:36 to go in the first. And at the end of one, under 51 minus 11 in the Louisville game. 20-14, we're favored. Haven't won anything yet. You see all kinds of strange shit happen. It even did last night with the with the Cowboys and Eagles scoring 41 in the first half and finishing on 44. That'll do it. Thanks, boys and girls. Hopefully I'll check you out tomorrow. Look forward to it. Tomorrow and Sunday will be fun. I'm looking forward to getting my Streamlabs Twitch page, up to speed and getting nice and snazzy where I can show you guys what I'm doing before I log in, when I take a break, when I'm done. As of now, it's still very amateur hour, but hey, I've never done this before. Cut me some slack. Be well. God bless. Have a good night.